What up, guys? How we doing? Hello, howdy. Whee! Let's kick this off. Boom. What up? Oh shit! Look at that. There's a little seam. Can't have that. Oh man. We get it? Yeah, there we go. What up, guys? Gals, everybody. What up, everybody? Let's go over here to the old Discord. Boom. Boom. There we go. Perfect. Hey, how's it going, guys? Hello. We're doing well. Good. Don't forget to go over to the Discord. You can tip here. You can go to Venmo. And you can do info. There we go. That's all of it. That's all the spams I have. That's it. I'm going to turn this on just lightly. Boom. What up, peeps? Peephole? Peoplepotamus? I'm going to put on my gaming glasses. Look at this. Look at this. Bull prop. 333. Perf. Let's see if we can adjust the color a little bit on this. I don't really like what it's doing. Let's there we go. Give it a little more flesh tone. Yeah? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. What up? Mikey is here. Good. Mikey's here. We can start. Hi. Hi. How's it going? How we doing? What's happening? We got a pretty politic heavy one for you today, I guess. Because, you know, why not? Thank you. Coronavirus. Yeah, these are those gunners. I like them. I don't know if they'll be a sponsor, but they, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Sent you a link on Facebook Messenger on Walmart. Buff Bagswell. Heyo. Are you the stuff? Bulls Deep. I got some earbuds on order next week. I work at a machine shop, so I can be harder to hear. Yeah, I suppose. Well, good. Furta COVID. I got the negative test. Furta COVID. What up? I am the sex. Welcome. We got some weird shit for today. Let me see if I can find this link that King Kong Dong is talking about. Oh, gross. Really? Is that real? Oh, that's stupid as fuck. Hold on. We'll share it with the rest of you. Oh, fuck yeah. What up, flavored lube meat? Flavored lubed meat. See, that's a weird name. I like that name the more I think about it. Because, like, is the lube flavored or is the penis flavored? It's got to be one of them, right? Still yawning? Always yawning. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, hold on. Hold that around there. There we go. Sometimes when shit's going weird or life's odd, you just gotta look at like volcanoes and be like, look, it could be worse. I could be in molten fire. Almost dying. That would be the worst. COVID. Yay. Okay, yeah, let's get to that COVID story, huh? All right. Enough fucking around with volcanoes. Am I right? Am I right? I think so. Ugh, this is just going to bum me out, isn't it? Ugh. I saw that. So I saw the headline that you sent, King Kong Dong, and there's no way this doesn't bum me out.
Go ahead.
All right, there we go. Facebooks have been at the heart of many heated controversy. Blah, blah, blah.
You're coming close
Back
to me.
off!
Wait, are these people all freaking out over masks?
So you're in a store complaining that people aren't wearing masks, correct? Are you hiding now? And you want to say that you're going to laugh on me?
You're
I
coming
feel
close to me.
threatened.
You're coming close
Back
to me.
off!
That's assault, man.
Ugh, that's just where we are, right?
We designed.
That's how society works now. So yeah, thanks for that bummer of a link, King Kong Dong. Here's the link to it. Boom. Throw that over in Show Talk as well. Boom. Boom, baby. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I don't think so, though. What up, crack babies? I don't think that we're going to start a civil war over this. Like, it's going to get stupid, right? But I don't know if it's going to get, like, civil war stupid. Yeah, King Kong Dong brought it up. I was just playing to the crowd, and now we're all bummed out, and it's his fault. Take it up with him. I'm sitting here chilling. I was watching volcano videos, bitches. Got ripped last night and watched a bunch of shit about ants. I don't know what to tell you. You just gotta relax. Yeah, the masks are a hard issue for me, right? Like, I'm not mad about them, I get. Like, I don't like wearing them. I think they're garbage. I don't think they do anything. I think the CDC lied to us and started telling us to wear masks the moment that they had them to give away. Like, when masks were at a shortage, the CDC was like, don't wear them. And then when they came back, they're like, wear them. But what's weird is... Reading what, though? I must know the end of the commercial. What? I don't know. Whatever. Fobs. What up, FOBS? Yeah, would you find out? And not a COVID positive story either, King Kong Dong. That doesn't count as positive, all right?
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Can I ask what your thoughts are on people thinking with evictions that are going to happen in a few weeks if the CARES Act stuff expires? I don't know. I mean, maybe. Hard to tell. I mean, like, I don't know, man. I battle with these issues. I really do, because I'm a very big libertarian. I'm a big free market guy. I got ravaged by this stuff, but I figured out a way. Like, I came up on here and panhandled to you guys to pay bills, and I went and did some other gigs. Like, I tried to figure it out, and it's interesting because I don't know the right answer. Like, I do think there are people out there that genuinely need help, but I also think there's a lot of people that don't need help that know they can get it, so they don't do anything. And I'm not okay with that. So it's real weird. It's a weird thing. I mean, like, this will sound terrible, and I don't mean it to, but kind of. Like, you're not going to be able to save everybody, right? And the CARES Act, like, these are things that mean well. If you don't pay your rent only because you can't get evicted now, you should be evicted. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, it's going to be interesting for sure, and I hope everybody's okay. I mean, clearly they probably won't be. When is it set to? Let me look that up real quick. Actually, hold on. First, Fob sent us a link. All right, I know nothing about this. Let's take a look. We're gonna switch gears, I guess, huh? End of the month, okay.
This is where it happened, back here in this dry creek bed. I was back here looking, I thought one of my dogs was back here, and I was like, how'd the dog get out of the yard? I saw a bunch of, you know, movement, and then I got back and, well, maybe it's a deer. And then I was worried about my dogs because there's a lot of Bigfoot and Sasquatch in this area. I didn't have a gun with me. And so I got back here, and that's when I saw the female Sasquatch. She tore out of the bushes, knocked me down on the ground, and I thought she was going to kill me. You know, I'm like grabbing for a gun, and then I realized I didn't bring a gun with me. I didn't have a dog with me. I was back here by myself. I was terrified. I was so terrified. It was so scary. And I wouldn't be back here right now, except I feel the need to, like, get over my fear and what happened. And what happened was, as soon as I was knocked down on the ground, she starts ripping my clothes off me. She did. She pulled my pants off me, and I'm like, oh great, what she's gonna kill me. They're gonna find my naked body here. It's worse. It's worse. As soon as she got
Who is this guy?
off me, she started, like, jerking the ween. And I'm like, whoa, you know, that's not going to work.
That can't
you know,
be real.
If
you're saying jerking the ween, you're fucking with people.
Keep in mind, this is a big Sasquatch, like comparable to like a big hairy Russian woman. I mean, she was big. She was like, you know, 7.5, 8 feet tall and hairy. And so I'm down there on the ground. I'm completely naked. My clothes have been ripped off me. And she starts giving me a knobber. It was all just biological. I didn't have any choice. And the next thing you know, I blew my load. I blew my load in the Sasquatch. As soon as I did that, she got up and she ripped down, she like let out this howl and then ripped down this tree. And I thought, my God, she's gonna like take the tree and take it and smash me, right? No, it didn't end. It didn't end. And then she starts blowing me again. She starts blowing me again, and I'm like, you know, could you give me 5 minutes? She didn't even give me 5 minutes. She started blowing me again. The next thing you know, I bust a nut again, and then she stands up and does one of these like, isn't that good? I swear to God, I swear to God. Then she hightails it into the woods this way. Now, I didn't know what to do at this point. I'm like, what do I do? I've been raped by a Bigfoot. Do I call the police? What do I do? I still don't know what to do. I mean, she could be pregnant with my child. I'll tell you one thing. I don't go in the woods anymore unless I have a weapon with me. I'll get over this. I think I should probably talk to somebody, maybe a counselor or something. I've never been raped before this. And listen, if it was a female human, yeah, let's do it. But this was like a creature. It was like a monster. It was a fucking monster. I was raped on a fucking dry creek bed. There's poison ivy all over here. I'm going to have poison ivy probably on my ween.
Stop saying ween.
Sucks. It sucks, man. I felt like I couldn't get.
It was the worst, man. It was so bad, and I'm so ashamed of it that I had to put it on YouTube, man. She gave me a knobber, and then I got 812 hits on YouTube, man. It's terrible, man.
Get fucking clean. I got home and I started taking a bath, and I just.
Now my voice is cracking. It was the worst.
I just fucking feel like I can't get fucking clean. It's been a horrible experience.
Like, wait, he can't get clean as in, like, he's admitting to us he was on meth? Because, I mean, like, this was straight up some DMT shit, right?
And nobody will believe me. If I call the police, they're going to tell me.
Nobody will believe me. So I just had to put it out on YouTube to 800,000 of my closest friends.
I'm fucking making it up. It's fucking horrible. That's the tree.
What a terrible fake cry. Look, I'm not trying to blame the victim, but this guy's totally full of shit.
They're gonna tell me I'm fucking making it up.
Look at his face. They're gonna tell me I was making it.
Fucking horrible.
Yeah, he had to cut this. Like, they cut this super quick. He shouldn't have worn that shirt. It's on him. Yeah, right? Look at how sexy he looks in that shirt. If you didn't want to get raped by a Bigfoot, why are you in a blue shirt in the woods?
That's the tree that she knocked down after the first time, after I busted.
Okay. That's the tree she knocked down? That tree doesn't even look knocked down. Yeah, thanks, Fobs. That's super rad. Thank you so much. This might be our day today. That's fucking gross.
My load into her. She's probably pregnant with my fucking hybrid baby.
Okay, so which was it? She gave you a blowjob or she's pregnant? Because not only are you lying about Bigfoot, but it seems like you don't know how sex works. Yeah, oh no, he got raped by a Bigfoot, A-Bombs. You know what? Here. Do you guys care if I reset it for A-Bombs? You don't know. I won't do that, actually. We'll watch some more of this guy. So this guy's basically lying about being raped by a Bigfoot. Kind of rad. There's the link there. We'll throw it up in the Discord as well.
That's my guess. This is poison sumac, and this is all in the dried up creek bed. It's everywhere. I'm sure I'm gonna have poison sumac on my scroto, on the shaft. Don't eat poison.
See, this is how you know this guy, like, he takes these dramatic pauses, right? Scroto. He said ween a bunch. Like, nobody actually talks like that. Also, doesn't he look like a really shitty Renaissance Tom Green?
Sumac. So she was just eating poison sumac before she gave me the knobber. She'd have that shit on her fucking lips and shit. My ween's gonna be breaking out, and it ain't gonna be with the herb. You know what I'm saying? This sucks. I don't know what to do. I'll never go back down there alone without a dog or a gun. I don't like being treated like a piece of meat like that.
Look at how he's holding the gun too. That's the funniest part to me.
This sucks. I don't know what to do. I'll never go back down there.
Yeah, man, you're totally safe with that gun. Look at how you're holding that gun. You are totally safe, bro. Don't worry about it. You are safe. That's not from Poison Ivy on your crotch that itches real bad. It's because of the Denny's waitress you were with last week. Yeah, maybe. The herp is being added to Scroto.
Alone without a dog or a gun. I don't like being treated like a piece of meat like that. Manhandled by some big hairy female. That was one of the worst. That was the worst. Seriously, that was the worst. I can't even believe I blew my load. It was difficult, but I figured, you know, she was making an effort. I figured at some point I should too.
Dog training? Okay, look, we are not done with this guy. Dude, he has 172
this
subscribers.
He's a 8-year-old.
Look at this shit.
This is where it happened.
Wait, there's another one?
Life is filled
so this
with
guy, so most people haven't seen any Bigfoot, but this guy's seen 2, and they were all sexual.
At about 3 o'clock.
Yeah, this guy's weird, man.
Happened last night at about 3 o'clock. The dogs were barking like they are right now, but the dogs in my house were just going ape shit. There's a female dog in there that is in heat, and I was like, well, maybe they're just going crazy because of that. But it just went on, and I was like, fuck it. So I'm like, I'm gonna go downstairs and yell at the dogs and tell them to shut their mouths. And when I get down there, I hear something at the back door. And I'm like, oh, great. Is a dog outside in the back or something? How'd that happen? You know? So I go out there, and then there's nothing there, right? There's nothing there. The dogs are still going ape shit. And then all of a sudden, from the top of the roof, jumps a motherfucking Bigfoot, and it was a 12-footer. This was not an 8-foot Bigfoot. It was 12 feet tall, and I know that because of where that it jumped from the roof. It jumped from up there, and then when it was standing, it was even with that like second bar. Look, that's like 11 feet, something like that. That's 12 foot. It was huge. It was huge, and it got worse because, you know, the goddamn thing had a heart on, and it was stroking it, and it was looking at me like, oh my God, the thing's gonna try and fuck me or.
It's all right. Now, if you're paying attention, if you're following along on TV, he got raped by one Bigfoot and then watched another one jerk off. This shit, I'm not trying to like blame the victim here, but I'm very skeptical of his tale.
Something. Those, you know, I've heard the reports that there's like anal rapings. The Bigfoot, like, I was afraid the damn thing was gonna bend me over the Weber kettle here and cornhole me, you know? And then my dog Ike came out, and then he kind of scared the thing off. But right before Ike scared the damn Bigfoot off.
The dude lives in a state of delusion, it seems like, Joel. That's what it seems like this guy lives. It looks like just out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know. It's just weird.
The Bigfoot was blowing a load. Some of the Bigfoot's jizz that is left is fucking disgusting.
Okay. See, so now we know it's bullshit, right? Because he called the cops, and that's the jizz. Because you don't go, hey, cops, here's some organic matter to prove I saw Bigfoot. That's soap. Yeah, it might be.
I'm worried for my safety at this point. You know, there's a footprint over here too that he left. That's very clear. You could see how big the footprint is. I mean, look at my foot. I wear a size 9. See what I'm saying? It's gigantic. That is a huge.
Okay, so clearly this guy's full of shit. I mean, it's probably a bit, right? Yeah, it has to be a bit, but the reality is like pretty funny because he's like, look, I wear a size 9, and then he puts his foot in there and like, look at how big that foot is. So what? That foot's like a size 12, bro.
Fucking footprint. I called the police. You know, this is a situation where I'm not going to call Cornell. You know, I need the police over here to help me. And, you know, it was like talking to a deaf ear. It was horrible. I called the Department of Conservation, same thing. Cornell's coming over. They are going to investigate this again. It's a real problem. This is at Beaver Dams, New York. It's a Bigfoot hotspot.
Yeah, let's see if he's got... This guy is fucking crazy. Here's a compilation of this dude.
Oh shit, what the fuck? What?
Wait a minute. That's not the right one. God damn it, I hate this. Hold on. There we go. Let's cue this up. Let's find out.
This is Ike. He's a...
They really kind of would, wouldn't they? All right, let's see. I'm going to try and see if I can find more. He really, his channel is mostly, here, I suppose I can put it up. His channel is mostly dog training videos. And fake Bigfoot videos. He loves his fake Bigfoot videos.
Bigfoot the size of Texas. Just imagine. Bigfoot the size of Texas. Just imagine it. We could see it from outer space. It's a great idea.
Just think about it. It's totally feasible. It is. A giant Bigfoot like this one here. It's a Bigfoot, but it's almost the size of Texas. That is so large, it takes up at least, you know, a quarter of a state.
I mean, this is Texas, but it could be any of the large states. Most of the large states nobody's doing anything with.
I have it on Texas right now, but it could be any state. Nothing's going on in Colorado. They'd probably want to have it. But it could be any state, but it's gigantic. We'd use like excavation equipment. We'd have to have like, I don't know, thousands. We want to get it done. 1,000 bulldozers or something working nonstop for 5 years. We could have a pretty sweet Bigfoot. You could see it from space. That's the goal, is to make a Bigfoot that can be seen from space. It'll be simple. We just need some money. Like, that's not half of Texas, but if we want to buy half of a state, we have to have a large piece of property to do this. We're not going to do it with like, oh, I'm going to make it the size of, you know, Rhode Island. What a waste of time. If you're going to make something like this, you make it as big as possible. That's why I think Texas, and there's nothing down there in Texas. There isn't. It's just, what is it? It's tumbleweeds. So we get some bulldozers, go down there, start.
This guy kind of looks like
Littlefinger
Littlefinger from Game of Thrones.
A large, like mounds. It's gonna be like, you know, it's long, and it's long. It's real long, but I'm talking about how high it is. Like, at its, like, say the forehead would probably be like 1,000 foot high or something.
More like a 5 head.
Be 1,500 feet high. Or higher. I'm not sure. I'll have to get my my calculator out to figure that out. But that would be the goal. I need some money to make this thing, though. I need some money, so I'm gonna put a GoFundMe down here below this video, and I think people should give to the GoFundMe. You want to see it, right? Well, you're not going to see it unless you give to the GoFundMe. It's going to cost some money.
I wonder if he actually set up a GoFundMe.
I'll put in however much GoFundMe will let me put, and we'll see. I'm thinking I could make it for, I don't know, you know, 50 billion.
50
I mean, it's not gonna just be land. I mean, we're gonna do some things like the whole face and everything. That can be a little town.
It could also be used for like safety, you know. Think about it. Like if aliens are looking at our planet and they see that from outer space, they see a giant Bigfoot, they might not want to fuck with us. Seriously. They'd be like, what the hell is that? That's amazing. It looks like a giant Bigfoot down there. Let's leave the humans alone. There's a lot of reasons to do this. A lot.
It's a Bigfoot, but it's so big, you can see it from space. This can be built. We can do this.
We will be traveling soon into outer space for vacations and stuff. That's going to happen very soon. So this would be
We
one
can
of those
do
things,
this.
like, let's go up there and check out the sculpture from outer space, and then we'll come back down to Earth and check it out down here too. I don't see building this is any different than like the Space Needle, the St. Louis Arch,
A giant
the Golden Gate
A giant Bigfoot is no different than the Space Needle, you guys.
Bridge. It's just a lot bigger and cooler. It's Bigfoot. You know, it's Bigfoot. We're not gonna kick anybody off of any. Well, we'll have to move some people. So they can move back and move back on like.
We're not gonna kick anybody. Well, we'll have to move some people.
Like Bigfoot's arm. I mean, that's gonna be a huge, huge area. So you know, you'll be able to drive on Bigfoot. It's part of it. It's gonna be part of a state, and it's a sculpture.
This guy trains
and a
dogs.
Park, a national park, the Bigfoot National Park of Texas. Think about it. Think about it. It should be done. Why not? Why not? That's what I say.
That's what you say? You say why not, bro? Nope. That's special.
See that bright?
So this guy is crazy, man. Let's see what else we can find from him. What happens here? I'm gonna go to his site. So this is the like.
This is Ike. He's a 8-year-old Labrador that's trained in basic obedience and waterfowl hunting. He's an awesome guy, and he's probably my best friend. My name's Peter Kane. I'm a dog trainer. I'm an obedience trainer. I condition all basic obedience commands into the dog that comes for a board and train, and I also evict any behavioral problems that the dog has.
Peter's very talented with a leash. He's the best handler I've ever seen with dogs.
He's got this crazy look in his eye like he's Charles Manson. He's a bloodthirsty animal. That's my pigeon Remy, and she's also my pigeon wife. Remy has picked me as her mate, and I'll just put my head down here like this, and Remy will walk off, and then I'll just lay on the eggs and take a nap until Remy comes back. Yeah, it's strange. I'm not eating my wife's eggs. There's no fucking way. This female has given me less shit than any other female I've ever known, and it's a pigeon.
We went out for a little less than 2 years before it erupted.
She hired a private detective.
What?
He almost got me killed in a swamp. He gets along better with animals than he does with people. Like, animals are his people.
And this stove is turned off. I figured if the gas is turned off, then I won't have dirty dishes. A lot of times I come in here and there's fucking pigeon shit in my pan. You know, it's a bummer. It's a bummer. I do clean this. No! You knock your ass off and let us get this fucking done, please. Sit. Ow! That fucking hurts, man.
Hey, how you doing?
I could kick that Rex's ass, man. I could.
I'm 6'4", 255 pounds.
Put me fucking down, Rex! Behold, it's the mango.
It's painful to see someone so good at what they do not being able to make a living.
Yeah, the dog
I have
king.
no money.
You gotta advertise more.
I'm doing Google. I'm the fucking matchstick boy right now.
Internet, internet, internet.
I'm on it.
Better. You got to do it better.
I'm advertising on Google. I make animatronic art. It has a raw look to it. Sales aren't what I would imagine that they would be. This is for sale. Everything is for fucking sale.
That's
I'll
creepy
sell
as
my
shit.
fucking mattress. This mattress is disgusting. There's been dog piss on it. There's been dog diarrhea on it. This is my bathroom. It's real sweet. Here's my two-headed pig I made. That's pretty special. Maybe I need a girlfriend.
And he likes to create drama within his own mind.
Who doesn't like a little drama?
Ugh, me. I'm done with drama. I still date strippers.
He communicates the best with animals.
And he has a raven that shit on my Marc Jacobs jacket.
I don't remember that.
Housebroken, huh? This dude needs both. Why can't he have both? Okay, this is becoming crazy to me. docuseries, huh? Yeah, he's a Bigfoot to Banks. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Oh, we got more Bigfoot videos.
Fellas, are you still
Oh, God. Yep, everybody's powdering. Calm down.
Cooped up. So last week, we rented this RV, and we drove out to the West Coast. I had to talk to my friend Matt.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to queue up the next one like that. There we go.
It's like a business partner. So we went out there, and then on the way back, I wanted to stop and see the Grand Canyon. So I had this big RV, and I'm pulling the dogs out and lining them up and taking pictures of them in front of the Grand Canyon, and all of a sudden they were going ape shit. They were acting nuts, and I figured it was a bobcat or something. I just didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't think the dogs were going to get hurt or anything. It was just like, excited dogs. I didn't want to deal with it. So I put the dogs back in the RV in the air conditioning, and then I was like, well, I'm here. I got Bucket and Remy. I got to get a picture of them. And Bucket, my cat, is trained, and so is Remy. So, Remy will ride on my old lab's back.
I mean, it's a few months old there, something like that, very young.
My cat, so I'm like, Remy, get on Bucket's back and let me take the picture. So I'm taking the picture, and keep in mind that I'm like concentrating on the dogs. There is like not the dog, but the cat and my bird. There's a real steep incline, a little bit of a cliff. It was safe. It was safe, but I'm concentrating on that and getting the picture. When I took the picture, I thought I saw something run across, but like out of the corner of your eye, and I don't know, I was thinking it was a deer or the bobcat or whatever the dogs were going crazy about, and I didn't think anything about it. Then last night, I'm looking at the pictures that I took, because I'm gonna post them on social media because they're cool. And then the one picture of Bucket and Remy, I'm looking at it and I'm like, what is that in the background? It's real small. So I blew it up a little bit. And it's becoming more clear. And then I blew it up again, and I'm looking at it, and it looks like Patty, the Patterson Bigfoot.
Look at that. It looks like Patty.
And for those of you that don't know, you'd have to be living on the moon not to know about the Patterson Gimlin film. That was, I don't know what year that was. I think that was the late 50s.
It's awesome vintage documentation with the 16mm camera. Look at that. You can clearly see the monster walking. It's awesome.
That film, he documented, that was the first time like a Bigfoot had been documented with photography. And he documented the Bigfoot that appears to be in my picture.
See, that looks the same. That looks like Patty.
Doesn't that look like Patty?
For sure, it's clearly a humanoid, but it does. It looks like Patty a whole lot.
The Patterson Bigfoot, to still be alive, the Patterson Bigfoot would be, say the Patterson Bigfoot was 15 or 20 back in the 50s, it would be really, really old. But it's non-human, so it is possible. It is possible that that's Patty, the Patterson Bigfoot. A lot of people said that Patterson's film, it was
Please
a
watch
fake,
this at
which is
160p.
ridiculous. It totally looks real. It looks real, it is real, and they tried to say, well, he's a photographer and a filmmaker and an artist, and they're like, well, he made that. He made the costume or something. No way.
No way. You can see the muscle definition. Look at that. No way. It's real. That's a Bigfoot.
No way could you make a costume that looks like that. There's no way.
Look at how the Bigfoot's walking. That looks nothing like a human. No way. That's a Bigfoot, clearly.
Clearly, the Patterson film is documentation, more documentation of Bigfoot and Sasquatch.
Clearly,
but
yeah,
seeing
clearly.
that quite possibly that's the same Bigfoot.
Looks very much the same. Maybe it's a relative, or maybe it is the same.
It's more proof that Bigfoot is not from this planet, and Bigfoot is, you know, it's brought here as it's my theory that it's a biological recording device. And then they take the Bigfoot back up, they download the information about our environment that we live here, and then they might place them back here. That's why we don't find dead bodies, fecal matter. They're not from around here. They don't have to live here. They just come here, they hang out, they soak up all the nastiness of our environment so that the gray aliens know what we're doing to our planet, but they already know what we're doing.
Yeah,
to our
Bigfoot's
planet.
an alien.
We're
Keep up,
destroying
bombers.
it. And that is why Bigfoot is here. Bigfoot is placed here because, listen, the gray aliens are not going to intervene with the coronavirus.
Excuse me, bitch!
It's just the same thing as like our conservation department in each state going out and studying wildlife. That's all we are to the gray aliens. We're wildlife. When they take us up on the
apparently
ship,
this guy knows more than
they
us.
probe us. It's the same thing as you know, a biologist going and getting a frog and dissecting a frog, or looking at the frog, tagging a bear and releasing it back into the wild. It's the same thing.
Think of this place as like a zoo, or somebody that is stocking a fish pond. Think of it like that. That's more or less what's going on here. They're in charge of us. They can do anything that they want with us. They own us, essentially. That's how it is.
That looks like the Patterson Bigfoot, does it not? That's the Patterson Bigfoot in the Grand Canyon, which was miles away from the original place that the Patterson film was shot. But I don't think
I don't know, man. I don't think it's Photoshopped. I think
like
that was real.
Bigfoot is not territorial. They're territorial for a while, meaning there's Bigfoot back there, right? There's Bigfoot and Sasquatch in this area. But they stay back there, and then maybe they go up to the ship or whatever they do with them, and then they put them someplace else. Or they have the Bigfoot traveling some distance, and that's a theory too, that Bigfoot a lot of times will travel, you know, south for the winter like a bird. That's what people say. Now, I can state for a fact that Bigfoot will live in the cold. They live up here in the winter. They do. They might have some Bigfoot that do that. They might want to, you know, use it as a biological recording device and have the Bigfoot travel like the whole eastern coast, but they don't do it along the highway. So they're walking around, drinking the water, soaking up everything.
That's bird shit, bro. He's snorting bird shit.
I had no idea that this was on my phone. I had no idea until I just saw this.
I had no idea
this
lie I'm
I was
perpetuating
so
was
excited
there.
seeing this last night. I could barely sleep. I wanted to get this out today to share this with everybody. I mean, look at that. That looks like Patty, right? That looks like a lot like the Patterson Bigfoot. It's very exciting. Look at Remy. She's so beautiful.
Oh yeah, I wanted to watch this one too. This is him going to church, picking up potties or something like that. Let me see. Oh God. This is a hole we will likely never get out of, guys. Sorry. Let me see. Oh, here's a best of compilation. Let's see what the best of looks like. I'm not mad about this guy. This is pretty funny.
I haven't had sex with the Sasquatch, okay? I blew my load in the Sasquatch. That is not my dead baby. There's another pile of shit right there, too. She had a very finely manicured biscuit. More proof to Sasquatch, you know, being involved with the Third Reich. What the fuck? This is more like a dog dick. Check this out. 10,000. 10,001. I'm jerking it 15, 20 times a day. Oh yeah, that's pure Sasquatch jizz. Okay. The Bigfoot was blowing a load. I did not have sex with that watermelon woman. I've been raped by a Bigfoot. Do I call the police? Here's one of the slutty Bigfoot. You know. Yeah, now we're talking. Now we got some jizz draining. If you were gonna fuck a Sasquatch, there would have to be DNA test done first. She didn't even kiss me.
I kind of like, I know that this was all supposed to be a like giant griff on me, guys, but I kind of like this guy. I'm not gonna lie. There's something I just really appreciate about a good old fashioned crazy dude, you know? Like, just, you have to respect it. What else can we find? There's got to be.
This is Ike. He's a.
I wanted to watch. Where was it? There's one other one. Severe mental illness. I don't know, man. I think it's just all a joke. Like, he's messing with people. Like, I don't know if that's mental illness at that point. I think it's just kind of funny. Yeah, I agree. I think he's just trying to be funny. He's trying to be outrageous. I don't think.
This is Ike. He's a 8-year-old Labrador that's.
Oh, here we go. He's got politics and religion. Oh, man. I want to see, like, some people fall into delusional distress after acting too long. I mean, that could be, like, going forward, this could end up being it, but I just don't think he's doing anything but fucking around. Like, it's, and guess what? That's still, it's kind of funny. Like, I mean, if that's what he's doing, the joke is pretty funny. Oh, excuse me. Jesus Christ. Here's him talking about still being traumatized.
Doctor told me I should. My doctor told me I should always come back here to conquer my fear, so that's what I'm doing. I never come back here without a dog. There's no way.
Hey, come on here. Let's go.
I feel safe because Marty's here. I wish that I still could have a gun. That would be helpful. That's the tree that she knocked down after she was done with me. This isn't anything that I wanted to do. I had no choice. She barreled out of the woods. I'll show you where she barreled out of the woods. That's where she barreled out of the bushes and came at me. I had no choice. She knocked me down into the creek. There was no water there. It was during the summer and it was dry. And she pulled up my pants and started jerking the ween. I didn't have any choice. I was nothing more than like a sperm donor to that creature. Every time I think about it, I feel like I'm getting better. But every time I think about it, I get upset. There's enough to worry about in this world. We have the coronavirus. We have a pandemic. I tried calling the police and tell them about this, and they tell me they don't want to hear about it, that they're dealing with a pandemic, and they don't believe me, and it happened. It happened.
I like how he's wearing a tinfoil hat.
She made me do it.
It wasn't my choice. It was so biological. It was so horrible. Is the Sasquatch coming back to get me? I don't want it to come back, Marty. I don't want it to come back, Marty. I wake up every night with that stink on me. I can't get rid of it. It's horrible. I brush my teeth and I gargle all the time and I still can't get that taste out of my mouth. It's fucking horrible. It's horrible. And one of the worst parts of it is she bothered my brown eye. She did. She touched it a couple times. I don't want to be gay. Does that mean I'm gay? I don't want to be gay. This is the exact spot where it happened. It's fucking horrible. I didn't want to do it. She made me. I come back here and I relive it all the time. My doctor wants me to come back here. It's not helping. It's making it worse. It's making it worse. She gave me a number.
Peter Kane is this guy. He's got here, I'll pop the link into the YouTube. This is for the video we're watching. I posted it in Discord too, Dan. It's on there, and here, we'll post this one in here. This guy's got, I mean, this video we're watching has 15,000 hits. Like, this guy has all the followers. It's kind of sad.
It's an ivy. I got it on my weed and my scrotum.
He does kind of sound like an off-brand.
It's horrible. If you look real hard, you can see where my hands were digging into the fucking soil. I was grabbing rocks. I was going to hit her, I swear. Tried to get away. She stopped me. She pulled my leg and dragged me back and started giving me an number again. She's got my baby, I think. What am I going to do? What am I going to do, Marty? She raped me. I didn't want to do it. Worst part of it was I didn't know if the poison ivy was an STD.
Yeah,
I couldn't go to the
it's
doctor. I still might have it. What am I going to do? I didn't like doing it. She made me. She made me. You're going to be sorry what you did to Peter Kane, Sasquatch. I want my baby if you have it. I don't care. I don't care if it's all hairy. I'll love
Look at the fake tears he put just on his nose. Like he's crying out of this part of his face. Oh, and up here. There's the tears.
it like it's a Labrador, baby. You are not equipped to take care of it. I can do better, I know. I'm sure of it. I know that there's going to be people that say that I'm coming back here because I want to see her again, and I don't. I just want this over with. I want to move on. I was molested. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They don't even give to my Patreon or join my channel. You should join my channel. The Frogman level, it's the highest level. Do it. Please, I need help. The doctor said I should put a note in the woods and leave it for her. But they don't even read or understand English.
Yeah, that's...
So I'm going to put this in a tree.
I think that's the most surprising part of all this, is that he had ex-girlfriends, right?
She'll know what it means. I mean, I don't want you coming back. Marty, what am I going to do? Marty, what are we going to do? Is the Sasquatch going to come back and get me? Marty, I kind of felt good. I had no other choice. She was like, oh my God, what are you doing back there? It was horrible. Brushed my teeth. I took a shower. I felt like I couldn't get clean. What am I going to do? Come on, Marty, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly acting. That's for sure. Oh, there we go. He's got other ones too that are really interesting to me. I don't know. Like this is crazy. Voiceover? Maybe. I mean, I don't think he's a voiceover guy. I think he's using that. Gross. Yeah, it is kind of gross. It's kind of weird though. That dog is sitting there thinking, I hope the Sasquatch comes back and eats me so I don't have to be around you anymore. Yeah, right? That dog's like, I hope you die so I can run away. Even the dog has a hat. Yeah. It's not even amusing anymore. Yeah, it's really amusing, actually, JJ. We're all laughing. You're just being a fucking killjoy. Oh, I don't like this thing. It's pretty fucking hilarious. Like, I don't know, man. The thing that's so weird is this dude's YouTube. it like says dog training videos. Like if you didn't know anything else, it's just like you come in and like this dude's a dog trainer. Kind of crazy. Let's see, here's a dog trainer.
Luna, kennel. Sit. You got it. Kennel. Sit. Heel. Luna, kennel. Sit. Kennel. Sit. No, sit. Luna, kennel. Sit. Heel. No, heel. Sit. Luna, kennel. No. Luna, kennel. Sit. Luna has the RX-70 micro receiver by eCollar Technologies on, and this is an awesome collar. It is. It's absolutely awesome. Their remotes, all of them go for this.
Hey guys,
collar.
I'd like to make a sweet
thing
video.
that I like about this collar,
but this guy won't stop riding his dirt bike. Yeah, he's saying kennel.
It's made for a small dog, and then it's 20% smaller than a mini educator. Out of the box, it looks sort of bigger because you can put the strap on two different ways. You can do it this way, which would be traditional, right? But if you do it this way, it's better for a small dog. And that's how I have it on Luna. This is an awesome product. This is an awesome tool. And this tool, as far as like e-collars go that are on the market, this is it. This is the best you're gonna get. One of the reasons, other than that you can, you know, it's good for a small dog, but all of their collars have this blunt stimulation, this patented thing that they have. And like this collar, a human's not gonna feel it until about 20. And with her right now, it's on 5. It's on 5. Lower than a human can even feel it. This is an awesome collar. It's the RX-70. I highly recommend this for a small dog or a big dog. I've had it on my GSP. I've had one on one of my pits. This is a great collar. It sells for $100. Now that's $100 just for the receiver. Do you understand? Like you buy this.
Do you understand?
You'll have to get this too. So I don't know what they charge for this, but this is a very reasonable price, $100 for the receiver. Luna, let's work Luna a little bit more because she loves working. Luna, kennel. Sit. Kennel. Good. Sit. Kennel. Sit. See how calm Luna's being with the RX-70 micro receiver on? It's a state-of-the-art product. eCollar Technologies, because of this blunt stimulation that the collars have, it makes the dog calmer. It just works out better. It is eCollar to use.
Is the government tracking them?
Luna, sit.
Burn.
No, sit. I had a Garmin product.
I wanted that to be parody. Like, that's the problem with people like this that mix and match like parody and not parody. Is like, you click on a video and you're like, oh, I hope this is funny, and then it's not, and you're like, oh, boo. She loves to work because I'll slap the shit out of her. Yeah, I will shock the fuck out of this dog if she doesn't like to work. This is lower than a human can feel, but it's just enough to shatter dog bones. Zzz. Frogman, dogman. Oh, here we go.
Zippity day.
Oh God, here we go.
Zippity doo dah, zippity day. My oh my, what a wonderful day.
What am I so happy about? The same thing that a lot of people in the United States are happy about. Mike Flynn. And we can only gather that Jared Kushner is in big trouble.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh.
I could sing all day. I am so happy. That's what I'm happy about. Trump. They're flipping on Trump. There's going to be more people that are going to jail. There's more people that are going to plead guilty.
This video is called Walmart. Why is he talking about Trump?
Manafort's fighting it at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Stop singing. I'm so fucking happy.
I don't understand people. Like, that was called Goes to Walmart. Could be. All right, let's see this. Oh, there we go.
I'm going to Home Depot. I gotta get coaxial cable and a real long drill bit. Hooking up the cable box and all that stuff's real easy. I just need a longer line to string it from downstairs to upstairs. You know, I did an audio-visual job at, where was that? The Hyatt? It was it was a bigger hotel. I think it was the Hyatt in Kansas City. Or was it the Ritz-Carlton? I think it was the Hyatt. God, it was so long ago. But anyway, so I can understand basic, you know, how to hook shit up. That's not a problem. Basic electronic shit, you know, it's not a problem. I was born being able to do that. Like animatronics, it's easy for me. Even puppetry, making something move, I can do that. Electronic stuff and making stuff move. Like if I had any Savantian qualities, it'd be that. Maybe dog training.
Yeah, right?
No.
Brain drain.
No, I have no Savantian qualities. How about that?
Savantian qualities.
That's more appropriate. I know a dog trainer that's trying to sell that like he's got Asperger's, you know? I don't have Asperger's. Few people have said that before, like I have Asperger's.
I bet a lot of people have said it,
I don't
Pete.
label myself anyway. I fell off a cliff when I was a kid. That's not Asperger's. That's something else. That's making
what?
the best
Wait,
out
what?
of misfortune. Got Asperger's, you know? I don't have Asperger's. Few people have said that before, like I don't have Asperger's. I don't want to label myself anyway. I fell off a cliff when I was a kid. That's not Asperger's. That's something else. That's making the best out of misfortune. That's all that is. But right now, I'm going in Taco Bell because I need to eat. I woke up, had some Red Bulls, ate something, but it clearly not enough. I sort of feel sort of shaky. You know, I need to eat. So I'm gonna get my usual, which is 3 tacos, crunchy. I never get soft tacos from this place. Those flour tortillas are like eating garbage. You know, it's gross. I wish there was a fast food, like a fast food restaurant that.
Well, no, it's just like he's like, I don't have Asperger's,
Mexican
but I did
food,
fall when
not
I was a
like
kid.
this.
Like that's
This
not.
isn't
You're not
Mexican,
helping you,
but,
dude.
like it was good. Like they used like a corn tortilla, and actual steak chopped up and cooked. You know. There's a lot of those restaurants in Brooklyn, which is nice. There's one up the street that serves, you know, authentic Mexican food, which is it's pretty awesome. They have horchata. Like, why don't they have horchata here? You know, and make at least one product that isn't. Hey, don't get me wrong. I like the crunchy tacos. I like the crunchy tacos that you make at home with the box. You know, the old El Paso. I like those. Those are good. But
yeah, leftover Taco Bell's the worst. Can we talk
like
about
steak
that?
Taco.
Like, Taco Bell is whatever. It's okay. I haven't had it in about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I used to eat it all the time, but man, is there anything on the planet that heats up worse than leftover Taco Bell? It's like it just never like. Oh god, it's the fucking worst.
With like lime on the side, some cilantro on it, lots of salt. Yum. Fast food is just it's so expensive. Like it's always $7. You go to McDonald's, it's $7. It's so expensive. It's such a ripoff, and it's not very good. It surprises me people that are into sports. Like I had this friend Ginger. She's totally into sports. You would never guess this broad was into sports. I have another friend I found out that's into sports. Young Kimberly from
that lives in New York City. Young Kimberly is a comedian, right? I would never think this woman was into sports. She was posting like the score of a game. I'm not even sure what sport it was. The Cavaliers was one of them. Is that basketball? I think it is. The Cavaliers, or is that hockey?
This guy doesn't
Just
even know what it
fucking
is.
flipped me out. I couldn't believe it. You know, a comedian. You know, like comedians don't like sports. That's true. A lot of comedians are totally into sports.
I love
Football,
sports.
You know? Home Depot has the flag flying at half mast. Trying to move around the store. This family is taking up the whole aisle. And it's one of the large aisles. It's like, get the fuck out of the way. You can't see that somebody's trying to do something. Not everything revolves around you, why I'm saying this, but it's true. It's like people are just, you know, inconsiderate. Oh, I'm just supposed to walk slow because you all walk slow. Get the fuck out of here. Super long drill bit. That's what I need. This is 13. I'll get this. This is
Yeah, I don't know.
14.
Pancheros and Chipotle are pretty good reheated. I think just
Looks like
Taco
it'll
Bell
do it.
specific. I will say that Mexican food is not the best
Sure.
reheated. I can see
I
that.
need to go to the eye doctor because I couldn't even tell from I can't even tell close up or from a distance. This is a concrete bit. I'm not going through concrete. Just need it for wood. Now we're talking. 5/16. That's $11. That should do it. Right? I think so. Kind of like the half inch. I think I'll get the half inch. You know, bigger is better in a lot of things. Not feet. I got tiny feet. But I'm happy with my feet. It's no big deal. We're a size 2. Check it out, Home Depot.
It's true.
What do we have here? Walmart. Of course I'm going on Walmart. There's something in there I have to get. I'm sure of it. I could always get raw chicken for the dogs. Some pork for little Ikey. Check it out. Short sleeve shirts. Spring. It's close. It's fucking close. It's gonna be awesome. And not only is spring gonna be here, but I'm gonna have a puppy during spring because Bucket the golden doodle can't come into the country until he gets his rabies shot, so he has to be 4 months old. So he's gonna come in March. No, he's not coming in March, he's coming in April. I believe he's coming early April. It's gonna be sweet. Having a puppy during springtime, it's fucking awesome. I just saw some grandma checking me out. You know, checking me out, looking me up and down like I'm the prize-winning bull at the fair. No, Grandma, that's not the way it works. I'm not a piece of meat. I just passed 2 women, about between 70 and 80. They were speaking Russian. You know what I'm saying? They're sending old spies over here. They're you know, totally inconspicuous. You know, nobody's gonna think about an 80-year-old being a spy. Clearly they must have been spies. They were speaking Russian. Aren't all Russians spies? Check this out. Omarosa is actually a Barbie. They modeled a Barbie after Omarosa. That's cool. Congratulations, Omarosa. Looks just like her. It does. It looks just like her. This isn't really my Walmart. My Walmart is in Watkins Glen. So I come here looking for something. They don't have it. It's clear that they don't have it. I don't see it. Pisses me off. Got this Walmart. Oh, there they are. They're the sponges. I was looking for these sponges because they have them in the painting department. You know? No, they're in the, like, bath towel department. This is what I wanted. Right here.
So this guy has 3 settings,
Good.
right? Like
Good.
dog training, fake
Oh my God,
videos
I'm gonna fucking scream.
and
Almost
vlogging
about
at
3 or 4
Walmart?
times I've almost screamed, get the fuck out of my fucking way. I gotta get home and work with Bowser. You know? I had to get this shit done, but I had to go work with Bowser. You know? People are holding me up. It sucks. Fuck people. Seriously. Fuck them. Who needs a giant tub of ice cream? A fat pig does. I'm not getting this chuck roast for the Raven or my cat. I'm getting it for me. And what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to unpackage it. I'm going to put it on a plate. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, flip it daily, and I'm going to age it. The trick to this is you have to keep flipping it. You want to age the beef, you don't want it to get rotten, keep flipping it. I don't know why I'm stressed out, because Bowser... Look, we got more work to do. He needs to do hold better, you know. This dog's not going to be any problem. He's going to finish up on time. I should just relax, but I don't. I want the dog to be as good as I can get it to be. You know? These people are just slowing me down in Walmart. Just like, get the fuck out of people. Just don't stand there. Move, lard ass. When I was in Walmart, this mommy, and I do mean mommy, made some eye contact with me. Oh yeah, I could be dreaming this up in my head,
Alright,
sure,
I'm
but
bored.
I don't think I was. She's making eye contact with...
That is way too much Peter Kane for me. Whew, need to cleanse the palate a little bit. There you go. Just cleans the palate. The alert box go off. Weird. I don't know why that didn't go off. Crazy. All right. So take a nice little cleanser of the palate. Do a little relaxing. Let the day come to us, baby. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, we can watch politics the rest of the day. We got some political stuff. We can go. I just like, man, that was a weird ass rabbit hole, but I'm glad we did it. It's pretty good. Pretty fun. What up, A-Bombs? Donated bits. Nature Cruise. Hell yeah. Give those bits. Only an hour and a half left. Oh no, we've wasted it all.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! My man!
Excuse me, bitch!
Well, look at that. You can see my dick from here.
Tom Michel. I'm the fucking crackhead.
Doing terrific.
Hard no. Oh what? Oh what? You do fucking nothing.
Let God sort 'em out. It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
That would be cool.
There we go. Just let it come to us, baby. We're gonna go nice and slow. Get them bits in, baby. I don't know why the bit noise ain't working, but... Yeah, it's supposed to be jarring and loud. That's why they're saying, oh shit, Mikey.
Excuse me, bitch!
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
What's funny is that's the one I get complimented on the most. How weird is that? There it is. Yeah. Mmm. Now we're feeling it. Hell yeah. I know you hate it. I don't care. Hate it, baby. You hate lots of stuff. You're full of hate. You're a hateful bloke. I'd live there. In Hateville, USA? Alright. Did we do the government one yesterday? I don't think we did. There's a new government versus citizen one that's just fucking the best. I don't think we got to it last night. Let's so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start today and we're gonna just go from here. We're gonna I really like this song a lot. It's my favorite of the drop beats. Here we go. Let's watch this. Oh, I'll let you. There.
Hello, I'm a citizen.
And I'm the government. We've put a special tax on tobacco products to discourage smoking.
Oh, okay. Because it's expensive to take care of smokers, so you're disincentivizing us from smoking?
Right. Also, we put a special tax on drinking alcohol because that's a problem.
All right.
Also, we're taxing your income.
Okay. Hello, I'm a citizen.
And I'm the government.
I bet you can't stop being a hypocrite for 1 minute.
You know, I'd take that bet, but gambling is illegal.
Hello, I'm a citizen.
And I'm the government.
I just got paid today, and you took a lot of my money.
Yeah, about that. I will slowly start giving you some of that money back if and when you reach age 67.
What happens if I don't make it to age 67?
So yeah, that's the new one. There's also a good one with there we go. There's also a really funny one with
those old
let's see, where is it? Yeah, there's one where they have war. War is pretty good. They declare war. See, that was a nice palate cleanser to Bigfoot, right? Let's see here. What else? Oh, for those of you that don't like Ilhan Omar, she's in a lot of trouble right now as far as like her competition. There's this guy named Antoine Milton Moux. It's pronounced Meaux. What's your take on Unity 2020? I don't know. What is that? I don't know these buzzwords, man.
Recent favorability.
Let's find out about Unity 2020, I guess.
Ratings show that Americans are not very enthusiastic about either Biden or Trump as the 2020 nominees. And a new proposal by Dr. Brett Weinstein argues that America needs is a Unity 2020 ticket. The idea is to have a center-left and a center-right candidate run as a team with the top of the ticket status determined by a coin flip. They must agree to govern jointly and rotate every 4 years until the public chooses a new administration or member bows out of the ticket. Now, Brett is a visiting fellow at Princeton's James Madison program, and he's host of his own show and podcast. He joins me now via Skype. Brett, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Great to be with you.
So, Brett, let's talk a little bit about this idea. You made a lot of noise when you were on Joe Rogan's podcast about this dark host duo. Just explain it a little bit to the audience who may not necessarily have seen it, and then let's break it down.
Sure. The idea is many of us have noticed that the Republic is in jeopardy and that our parties have failed us, that pervasive corruption has resulted in the American public largely being frozen out of the productivity that they create through their labor, and they're angry, which is why so many of them are in the street. Unfortunately, what's happening in the street is resulting in proposals that will be absolutely disastrous if they are ever implemented, and the Democratic Party is toying with doing just that. So how, in light of the fact that the Republicans have delivered us Donald Trump and the Democrats have delivered us Joe Biden, are we going to put the Republic back on course? The proposal involves, as you mentioned at the top, that we take 2 candidates, we draft them, one from center left, one from center right. They agree to govern as a team, all decisions made jointly,
Yeah, right.
Except where that is impossible. And they would continue on for 4 years.
Always? Okay, I can't listen to these idiots anymore. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Seems like garbage. Like, it's not... Oops, sorry. Oh, there it is. The, like, idea isn't bad, but you can't execute it. It's like talking about, like, ending world hunger. You can have that stuff, but it doesn't. There is no unity. That's the problem, is that both sides have been so heavy politicized that they cannot interact with each other. They just can't. It's not possible. If you're center leaning, you can go back and forth, but if you're right or left, you're not going to interact with the other party. The left has been weaponized sensitivity, so everything is outrage. The right has been fear-mongering, so eventually that breeds apathy and the people across the aisle. So you have one, fantasy unity draft. I'll take Ron Paul in the second. Yeah, I mean, it's again, it's not the worst idea I've ever heard, but it's not practical. It's nonsensical on the point of, like, why are we even talking about it type shit. Not you, but just the idea itself. Like, it's very weird like that. Anyways, back to this Antoine Milton Maux. This guy has record-setting fundraising, and it looks like he might take Ilhan Omar's spot. I mean, like, he's coming up. The DFL tried to suppress him, and he's just cranking. And I think that that's an important thing in this election. What I think is really interesting about this upcoming election is the presidency. I feel like Trump's going to get reelected. I didn't vote for him. I probably won't vote for him this time either. But the reality is that more so than Trump, you have to watch the local seats, because especially in Minnesota, I think everybody's going. If I had a magic wand, I would vote out everybody. Like, the government has failed us all at this point. Like, you all have to go. And there's a guy coming up in the DFL, this Antoine guy, who could take Ilhan's seat. It's kind of crazy. This is his, like, trailer campaign for the primaries, if that's a thing.
A family legacy. His father was a civil rights pioneer. His mother helped people in poverty find affordable housing. Antone Melton Mukes has dedicated his life to community service and fighting for social justice. Antone Melton Mukes, an attorney, minister, and nationally recognized leader in conflict resolution.
The political culture in Washington is toxic. We don't need more dividers. I'm Antone Melton Mukes, and I approve this message because I'll bring people together and get things done for our community.
See, nice and sweet and just to the point. I mean, it's interesting because, like, Ilhan has made a lot of enemies, and there are people that should be on her side that aren't. So that's going to be a really weird thing going forward. What else was on today? I had that. Free government. Oh yeah, there's a Stossel today.
If we don't do.
This is kind of an interesting Stossel thing. This is about the coronavirus. And yeah, he's super cool, like that Antoine guy. And like the thing that's crazy is like his fundraising. Like that dude raised, it was like millions. He just put that dude's flyer in the recycling bin. Okay. I mean, that's fine. We're not in that district anyway, so I don't know why we had a flyer. Or is he? Is he? I don't know. I don't think he is. I mean, not just. His main platform is unifying. I mean, like he does have a lot of LGBTQA+ sides of issues, but the main thing is just how Washington's not working together. And he's absolutely right. They're not. And you look at like everybody that hates Trump is bitching about Trump. I mean, you could, so nobody, if you like Trump, this isn't for you. Like you can like him. I'm not mad at you. I don't care. Everybody gets to have their opinion. I've never been one that hates people based on that. But that being said, most people hate Trump in the other side, for sure. And what the Democrats did this last 4 years is they tried to hang him and get him like impeached and all this other stuff. And they got nothing. And so even if you're on the left and you don't like Trump, it's especially time for you to look at other options, specifically in the DFL. And that's where Antoine will succeed, because he's not talking about Trump. You watch Ilhan Omar, her campaign like ads have Trump saying her name. Like she's putting herself in there with Trump. And that only adds to this division. So this is a really interesting stossel. And this is about how, for anybody that like thinks coronavirus. So I have been saying on this show in front of all of you since like March, we don't have any math. When it comes to the coronavirus, this is a completely unknown thing, and science keeps changing its mind and keeps getting it wrong. We, however, decided that we were going to make it political, and now there's a hilarious amount of sound clips and sound bites of people getting it wrong. I love me some Stossel. This is a Stossel. I'll put the link in there for everybody. Whoops. Boom. Here we go.
If we don't do this, 2.2 million people die.
2.2 million people.
That was the prediction early in the pandemic. It came from experts at London's Imperial College.
The Imperial College model became enormously influential all around the world.
Science reporter Matt Ridley points out that the model led governments to act.
A statewide order for people to stay at home.
Everything we do is based scrupulously on the best scientific advice.
Politicians always say, I'm following the science.
There is no such thing as the science. There is science, and science consists of people disagreeing with each other.
The model did say that if all Americans practiced social distancing, we could reduce the death toll to 1 million plus. But even without everyone distancing, our death toll has been much lower than that.
We've seen far too much reliance on models which have very, very dodgy assumptions.
100% of the workforce must stay home.
Actually, what we did was quite dangerously wrong.
Because the model said COVID patients would overwhelm hospitals.
Patients were moved out of hospitals into care homes,
where the virus killed the most people.
Go home and stay home.
The strict lockdowns may have done more harm than good. Norway's health chief now says a lockdown was not needed to tame COVID.
The main interventions that helped prevent people dying were things like stopping large gatherings, people washing their hands and wearing face masks, general social distancing, not forcing people to stay at home.
But governments did force people to stay home because the models misled them.
We all failed at that business, right? All the early national experts, here's my projection model, here's my projection model. They were all wrong.
But he and others should have known that the Imperial College researchers have a history of failure. Imperial predicted 136,000 deaths from mad cow disease, 65,000 from swine flu, 200 million from bird flu. The real numbers were in the hundreds.
Wrong again and again, and they just get believed the next time?
If you say something really pessimistic about how many people are going to die, the media want to believe you, the politicians daren't not believe you.
The world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change.
This bias toward pessimism applies to climate change too. Most of those predictions are based on models. Ever been to a Maldive island? 32 years ago, so-called experts said rising seas would completely cover the Maldives in the next 30 years. But it's been longer than that. The islands are thriving. They're even building new islands.
The Maldives are building several new airports. That does not suggest a country that is about to disappear beneath the waves. Climate change is real, is happening, but is not happening nearly as fast as models predicted, and we have time to sort out our economy.
Why do the models again and again, and the scientists behind them, over-predict disaster?
Predicting disaster is a very good way of attracting attention to your science and getting rewarded for it.
2020, we're out of oil.
We are at or near peak oil.
75% of our energy are simply running out.
The experts all said, we're about to run out of oil.
In fact, the opposite happened.
Ridley's new book explains how innovators repeatedly prove models wrong. In the case of oil and gas, higher prices inspired entrepreneurs to invent new ways of getting more gas out of the same rocks.
We were forecasting 10 years ago that gas prices would go up rapidly, less rapidly, or slowly. We did not have a forecast in which they went down, and yet that's actually what happened.
It turns out experts are wrong all the time. The head of the British Royal Society said heavier-than-air flying machines are impossible. In 1955, Variety said rock and roll music will be gone by June. Columnist Paul Krugman said the internet's impact on the economy will be no greater than the fax machines.
Experts do get things wrong, but they're more likely to be right than a layperson.
Tom Nichols wrote this book that says we should trust experts more. I asked him about the Maldives.
Everybody said they were going to be underwater by now. Everybody was wrong.
Expertise gets politicized. This happens in every field of expertise because we're human beings and we want our expert sources to reach the same conclusions that we want to reach.
We shouldn't dismiss the expertise of a doctor or an engineer when they're curing your disease or building your bridge. But we need to learn that there is no such thing as expertise on the future.
People tell me it's dangerous what people like you or I say, that people aren't going to obey the government's rules.
It's dangerous to rely too much on models that give you wrong answers and end up locking down society and destroying people's livelihoods. Danger lies both ways.
If you like these videos and would like us to make more, please help us do that. Press that button.
Yeah, go help Stossel make more videos, guys. He's doing a great job. We're going to go ahead and put that over in the Show Talk page. Boom. Discord, baby. Yeah, so like this is what like happens. What's really interesting is there have been almost every single one, it's almost 100% of forecasts for like this metric. Like every time an environmental service comes out, like any survey or study, they give us a shelf life of 20 years. And they've been wrong about this every single time. And that's climate change is happening. Of course it is. But it's cyclical and it's also supposed to happen. Now, is it speeded up because of man? Maybe. It probably is, but we don't know the percentage that it is. And that's the whole thing, is the way that you present information is how politics works. And that's why like hyperbole and nuance are so important to me personally. You have to get the hyperbole out of issues so you can discuss the nuance. Once you get rid of the nuance, then the hyperbole sticks in, and then you're just programmed by whatever propaganda you're interacting with. That's the reality of the world.
Hello.
What up, dog?
Hello.
What up? Can you
Hello?
hear me? Hi, can you hear me?
Hello?
Nothing?
Hello?
You hear nothing? Huh. Weird. Let's try that again. We had a caller. I guess he can't hear us. That's weird. Let's try it again. Not. I think maybe he just doesn't have service or something. Who knows? That's super weird, right? What a weird Tom moment. Yeah, whatever. We tried. Nothing I can do. We tried. We tried to get Tom on the line, man. We tried. I'm sorry. Hope he's calling back. Let's see if this works. Let's call him back.
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Nothing? God damn it. Hold on. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There we go. What up?
Not much. How you doing?
Good. Yourself?
You know, sweating up a storm at work today, but you know,
Tom
what else is new?
Michel.
Yeah. What's up with your sweat?
Well, I mean, I sweat a lot anyways. I have hyperhidrosis or whatever, so I just sweat anyways. No matter what I do.
Hyperhidrosis. Is
Yeah.
that like a liver disease?
No, it's just literally a sweat gland disease where basically, like, you know, your body is just always trying to regulate itself down to a certain temperature. So, you know, no matter if you're working out or anything like that, like basically you'll just sweat, stay at that one temperature. So basically your sweat glands get into that hyperactivity after a while, and that's really what it is.
How long have you had that?
Since I was a fucking teenager. So it made fucking life miserable during puberty and shit.
You're like, I have so much acne and I'm sweating.
Yeah, like you know, you're constantly like just looking like you're shrugging your shoulders in a lot of ways because you're just constantly keeping your arms all the way pressed to your body, unless you're actually working out, and that's the only time it feels like it's acceptable. But then also too, like I have been working hard today, so that's the other part of that.
Yeah. What did you do that's so hard today?
What I like to refer to is reverse Jenga. We had a pallet that was falling down inside a trailer, so instead of unloading it and then having it all spread across the floor, you basically just slowly take out pieces until it's manageable to either get it off the trailer and then restack it, or just completely throw it all into bins. So
that's kind of cool.
There you go. Yeah, reverse Jenga, like I said. So.
Oh, did you see that FanDuel link I sent to the group yesterday?
I missed it. I forget to turn on my notifications for the group sometimes. So
FanDuel issued a refund for anybody that bet on Holloway.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that's like epic. They never do that shit.
Well, they never do that shit. One, because it's, you know, again, because it's a decision. But obviously, when you get a lot of people bitching about the decision.
It's still one of the worst. I had a buddy of mine that rewatched it, and he was saying when you rewatch it, you can understand the Volkanovski. He said you have to mute the commentators and then watch it. And I was like, I watched it with Tom in a noisy bar. I don't even hear the commentators.
Yeah, I mean, where we go, and again, I don't want to share with all these.
Yeah, don't give away the honey hole.
Right, but I mean, if they're really interested in something, like Corner Bar has it, you can't really hear anything when they have the commentator on. So if you want to go there and stuff like that, it's basically the same thing. But I mean, either way, I mean, you're still watching the fight. If you watch the fight and you know what fighting is and how it's supposed to be scored.
Well, and how many times have you watched a fight where the commentator's saying one thing and you're just like, bullshit?
Oh, I mean, not all the time. I mean, honestly, when I have a lot more respect for when like Joe Rogan's on there and stuff like that, because he's been seeing fights since basically the start of UFC. But I mean, Bisping's all right, but he's kind of partial towards a lot of English fighters, especially if not Europeans as a whole. And Cormier, he really gets a lot of he gets really wound up if anybody's a wrestler or with a wrestling background and stuff. So a lot of times their viewpoints are slanted anyways. So.
King Kong says that decision was trash. Yeah, no, it really was.
Well, and here's the thing, though, too. Like, I don't know why, and I've been seeing this a lot more, too, with fighting, that I've been seeing a lot more 10-8 rounds for no other reason than just because they feel like somebody was doing so poorly. But you're not supposed to score a lot of 10-8s. I mean, 10-8s is literally if somebody is completely beaten down and barely avoided getting to the end of the round.
I think, oh, shit. Yeah, I think like we have to get away from the 10-point must system. I mean, we're using the system that was designed for boxing, and there's just more nuance to MMA. You know, like for instance, like I think so. I went back and watched it again. I still think Holloway won. I actually came away with it thinking that he might have even won 4 rounds. Isn't that weird? That 4th round where Volkanovski started, like, because Volkanovski, like, here's the real question: if you're getting somebody down on the ground and you're not inflicting damage, should that count as anything?
See, and that's the hard thing, because ring control
are like, damage is the first one. Chris always likes to say, my buddy who's a ref, he always likes to say it's the 3 Ds, but the first D is always damage. And that's like, you know, the hold on, I'm just gonna find out.
Say that again.
Oh, I'm just looking it up. Just for the, because it's a big John McCarthy thing.
Oh yeah, because he does a lot of the training for officials.
Right, but the number one thing is damage. That's the first thing you got to look at is damage.
Yeah, but that's from an official standpoint though too, and that's why too.
Right, but I'm saying like, so when you're looking at damage, right? So like you go back and you watch the fight. Like to me, okay. Round 1 and 2 are clearly Holloway. He got knockdowns and he had strike counts. There's no way. I mean, I don't know that you could give him a 10-8 round for either of those, but there's no way you don't have Holloway going into the 3rd. The 3rd is pretty close. Again, I go with Holloway, but you know, Volkanovski, sure. But that 4th round is weird because Holloway like is actually like doing a lot more than Volkanovski. He just lands a couple takedowns where he doesn't do anything with it.
Right.
And so, like, does that, if you're inflicting damage on your opponent, but someone else takes you down, does that matter at all? Because I don't know if it does. I don't know the answer. But what's interesting is FanDuel giving back money on people that bet that. Because, I mean, you're talking about, like, a bookie. Like my bookie didn't refund my stuff. Why would they?
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, because it's not their fault, like, the decision and everything. But, I mean, I suppose from a standpoint of, you know, if I don't know, and my whole point is a lot of times with these fighters and these fights, when they're judging and they say octagon control, how do you really say that? Because the guy can take the center of the ring and then force a guy to the outside and basically forcing them to always be dancing around and stuff. But if you don't land any strikes or you don't do any takedowns, then that really should nullify that, because all you're doing is just controlling the center of the ring and not actually octagon
well, and you're not,
control.
I was just gonna say, and you're not controlling the octagon.
Right. But I mean, if you have a lot of takedowns, but then you're not doing anything with it, technically you are controlling the other person. You're controlling the octagon as you want it, but you're not doing anything with it. So, I mean, that's the whole thing. When a lot of these guys start going in and judging, and they say, well, it needs to be a 10 round, which again, you just brought up, like it doesn't really need to be the case, but because you can split enough of these counts. If you say like each one of these guys or each one of these categories is out of a 10-point area, and you just start saying, okay, this guy clearly had the most takedowns, this guy clearly had the most control of the ring, the octagon, and down the line. I mean, then you can put a fighter in there, but I mean, all these guys have to actually submit their scores before the end of the rounds, or before the next round begins. So
sure.
I don't know. I just think there's some guys who, they wait until that last minute. They forget some of the shit that happens early in the rounds, especially. So, I mean,
well, and I mean, like, there's also something to say about, I will say this. I left that fight, right, thinking that Holloway won, like I did when we watched it, right? But I'm not as mad about it as I was. Like, I just, like, when it is a close fight, it is a close fight. And you're never going to get me that angry when you give the close fight to the champion. Like, even if it's a bad decision, like, I mean, I feel like that's whatever. And if you're Holloway, I mean, like, you're talking about a weird pandemic island fight. Now you have a fight where, I mean, I know people that thought he won the first fight.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, Rays are close, but they're not, neither one was a blowout, So, like, this is something that could happen again. It just sucks because they rob us of what could have been one of the greater trilogies in MMA. These two put on great fights, man. Like, they're fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole thing, too. When they go to decisions and they're actually fun, because And I will say that though too, there was a lot of decisions that were that have been boring in the past. Obviously, we've seen plenty of those, but that was not one of them. So
it's just frustrating when, like, you know that they're giving it their all, especially with, like, Fight Island. I mean, like, all the bullshit that they have to go through.
Right. Exactly. I mean, you got to get there and you got to go. I mean, before you can even get into the airport or whatever, you got to get tested, and then you get off the airport, you get tested, you get a test before you can get into the hotels or the arenas and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, what a pain in the ass.
I figured out Masvidal's next move.
Okay. Go ahead.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Conor McGregor.
I had a feeling you were going to say that, and that's what I was going to kind of guess anyways, was that you're going to probably say Conor.
There's only 3 guys that he can go at. Conor or both Diaz's. Nick Diaz would be the optimal match.
Well, he's already fought one Diaz.
That's what obviously. I'm saying. Well, but like with the way that Nick responded, where he's like, "You're gonna say you're gonna baptize my brother? I'm gonna beat your ass." Like, if you can get Nick out of retirement to fight Jorge Masvidal, that sells all the tickets.
It does. Yeah, I mean, and Dana's even said that this kind of proves, because he didn't think. I don't think he really thought Gilbert Burns could get. I mean, they had over 1 million buys on this one, which is fucking huge for. I mean, it also maybe says, about the power of their actual main card that was, stacked. I mean, you had 3 title bouts. That never happens, ever.
Yeah.
You may get 2, but you never get 3.
Did you see Dana White talking about Paige Van Zant at the press conference?
No. I mean, I imagine it can't be good.
Oh, it was so funny. He was talking about Curtis Blades, and he's like, yeah, this is like Curtis Blades. Like, you can't go out there talking all this shit and fighting inconsistently and then go show up inconsistently. Maybe you should test free market. And I'm just laughing my ass off. I'm like, I see you, Dana. Fuck you. We know you did this. This is what you do. And I told you this when we were walking in, and you actually agreed with me, is how Paige Van Zant, her free agency's up, right? So, like, They were feeding her to Albina just to, like, get her off on a bad loss. That's what they do. And then this motherfucker's in the press conference like, oh, you should have showed up if you're haggling for money. Bitch, you did that. You do this every time. Like, Cyborg's last fight, you fed her to Nunes. Every single time somebody's about to test free market, you ruin their marketability. You always do it. Eddie Alvarez, you did it too. Fucking, Demetrius Johnson, you did it. Not that you thought DJ would lose to Cejudo, but still, you tried. This is like UFC Playbook 101, and Data's like, well, you should have done this. Like, fuck you, dude. So you're going to underpay all your fighters, and then you're going to ruin their career if they try to go get more money elsewhere? That's fucked. I'll still watch the product because I love it, but fuck you.
Well, and also, to his credit, though, I mean, that is kind of a capitalist standpoint and stuff like that. I mean, and it's the same market book as, like, anything as far as combat sports or even sports entertainment. Again, wrestling's been doing that for years. I mean, the guy never leaves the company on, with the title or with his hand raised. You always leave a company on your back, whether it's retirement or you go into another company. So that's how it's supposed to work.
Mikey Two Milk says it's a Montreal screw job over and over. Kind of. I mean, except for they can't actually script it, and Paige Van Zant was never anybody. Like she's hot. And she was, like, enjoyable. Like, she had a good personality. But, like, as a fighter, again, if you take away her looks, you take away that. And I remember I was at the bar, and I was telling you, and I was telling that other dude and that other girl across the bar, she's going to get locked out in side control because of her breast implants. Like, if you're betting money on MMA, the chick with breast implants, that is a disadvantage. Because what happens is, like, the actual breast implant doesn't move like a normal breast. So you can actually, like, choke somebody out with their own implant. It's like wearing a gi versus not wearing a gi. Pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only time you don't bet that is if they're going in with a striker and they themselves are a striker, then maybe they got a shot. But...
Well, you still take it into account when you're betting. I mean, like, if it's 2 strikers, yeah, that won't matter. But it's just so funny. Mikey Two Milk says, don't you talk about my wife like that. I'll cut you. Well, I mean, I'm sorry your wife sucks at MMA, bro. Maybe if she was tougher, you wouldn't have to cut people.
Is she already married to, like, some douchebag out of her gym or something like that? I don't know. Like,
they all do.
Did she come out? Yeah, it was like, wasn't she married to like the one of the guys out of that
that would be
Favor
cool.
Gym or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those. I mean, I don't know. Rose Namajunas is Pat Barry. It's just all of them. Like that's. I think like honestly, if you are dedicated to using training and being a fighter, your life partner has to kind of be dedicated to that fitness on that level as well. So I think it's pretty common because it, like the thing about fighters is like they're hanging out in gyms all the time. You know, and if you're in love with somebody, especially with like these higher end fighters where, you know, they don't need the money, you know, like Amanda Nunes' wife or fiance, are they married yet? Her wife or fiance is also an MMA fighter. I mean, it's just when you're spending that many hours in the gym, it's either your wife is into it too, or you never see each other.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess that's why too, you know, the rule as far as, you know, comics shouldn't date other comics or marry other comics. But I mean, the reality is if you're truly grinding and trying to do the best you can, I mean, comics are all around you. That's what you are. I mean, unless you start trying to date like bartenders and stuff, which is never going to go well. I mean, because your hours are basically the same, which is fine. But I mean, yeah, it just gets tough. And you're right.
You gonna be watching the card tonight?
No, I got other plans tonight.
Oh.
And it wasn't really that good a card anyways.
Yeah. What do you got? What do you got that's better than watching one of the weakest cards I've seen in a long time?
I got a date tonight, man.
Ooh, attaboy.
And other plans could have easily involved AEW. They got to fight for the phone tonight. I mean, if I really want to, NXT's on tonight too. So
yeah, there is
way better than real fighting in this one.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. You've got Cater and Igear is going to be a good fight, and then it's
so
just
main event.
It's just everybody. I mean, it's weak. Like Tim Elliott, I've heard of. Jimmy Rivera, I've heard of. Benoit's not that cool, and Cody Stammen's just whatever.
Right. I mean, he's got to do better than he did with that decision win after his brother passed. But which I mean, you could. I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, maybe he's fired up more about this, you know, coming off a win and shit like that. But I don't know, these midweek cards and stuff like that just don't fucking. I mean, even when they did the week straight in Jacksonville and shit like that, it just didn't fucking impress me that much.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. And it's even the next one, the Buenavides fight. Like, I mean, you've got Gastelum and Hermanson, which will be cool. You got Figueiredo and Benavides, which is for the title again this time, even though last time it was one dude didn't make weight. It was it's so weird, you know. They're like, hey, let's run back this thing because they're trying so desperately to feed Buenavides that title. It's like Buenavides can't win even when they're like feeding him.
Yeah. Oh, that's very true. I mean, and that's why too, I don't understand why you go with somebody like that. You should be able to find another fighter who can win the title, or if your champion is actually that good, you know, then you should be able to, you know, run with him as your top guy. That's why I just don't understand sometimes about UFC. Like they're so desperate for like the next Chuck Liddell or Randy Couture or something like that. Somebody who's a marketable name and personality that they put out there, but you know, because they've had so many of these heavyweights, they're just, you know, generally fucking trash as far as personality goes. I mean, Tim Sylvia was fucking just blank as shit. I mean, they always want an upper class and stuff like that too. But I mean, if you got a fighter who's legit and they're continuously winning their title and stuff, I don't see why you don't just go with them.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, and like I don't know. I'm looking over the cards and like it's like so the one tonight is kind of weak, right? Mm-hmm. The one on the 18th, which is Saturday, is also pretty weak.
Yeah,
I don't even like the one on the 18th, like Buenavides too. Like that fight and Hermanson are the only two fights I don't even know half of these people, you know. And this is all just probably prospects and up and comers that they just have to get fighting, otherwise they have to pay them contract wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, the UFC Fight Night 174, which is on July 25th, that card is kind of hot fire.
Yeah.
Like that card is crazy loaded. But what's really weird is the prelims aren't. Like at all. It's like those ESPN ones, it's like they don't try on the prelims even a little bit. They just don't care.
Right.
But yeah, they've got like Esparza's fighting on that one. We got Fabricio Verdum and Gustafsson at heavyweight. That'll be interesting. Like, can Gustafsson knock out the deadliest man on the planet, or is Fabricio done because of his steroid stuff? Who knows, right? And then you have, this is actually maybe my favorite, is you have at light heavyweight, you have Shogun Hua versus Little Nog.
Huh. Okay.
I didn't even know Antonio Nogueira was still fighting. But he is.
Well,
and then, of course, you have Whitaker Till, which should be just bananas.
Right. Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, that could work. I mean, I think that card's gonna be pretty good. Obviously, like, you know, this midweek one, and then Saturdays is okay. I guess I'll probably watch that one, but I mean, I don't know. That's the whole thing when you always have these letdowns where you get, again, 3 title fights and, you know, all that sort of stuff. Hold on a second. What are you looking for exactly? You just gotta go into the actual break room stuff. Huh? Yeah, you just gotta go in the break room. He's right at the window. I don't know. I mean, like I said, you get so hyped up for these big time pay-per-views like they did for 251. It's hard to come back midweek with anything that's actually good. I mean, maybe the real diehards care about this fucking one because they want to see who might be able to get ranked in the top 15 or some shit. But
yeah, that's exactly it. And that's the problem is like even I mean, you go forward and even UFC 252 with Stipe and Cormier. I mean, you've got Junior Dos Santos and Rosenstruck, and then you know you got O'Malley versus somebody, Marlon Vera, who cares, and then you've got Munoz versus Edgar. Again, who cares? You know, there's just nothing. Like, that's the problem with, like, an event like this last weekend. It's like they show you what it can be, and then it burns out. And it's if they would cut 2 events, they should fucking get that, you know?
Well, and I've been saying for a little while now that I think with basically you have prelims starting at 5, then you tell most people that your prelims start at 7. Because, I mean, that's what they used to do. They used to basically just pack their prelims and their main card, and then the pre-fights or the pre-card or the pre-prelims or whatever you just didn't worry about, because if your main card goes short, you know, if you say you got like 3 knockouts and shit like that, that's when you put some of those back on as fillers and stuff like that, because then people are feeling like they're getting actually some of the fights. But they don't line it up like that with these TV deals now, because they used to put them all on Fox before the main card. Now they're putting them all on ESPN for the main card. And
yep.
I mean, I don't know. They don't really know how to, you know, say like the main card is going to be 4 or 5 fights, because they can't market all 4 or 5 fights because, you know, a lot of people just don't know the names, so they want to see championships. And when you just do championships, yeah, that's when you kind of get people who are, you know, get burned out because you can't do 2 or 3 championship fights a time, and then they don't have enough rivalries and stuff where people are really invested in it.
Right, and then they run into that, you know, and it's like now you have with Khabib's dad passing, like you have even less on that. I mean, like it's going to be really weird.
Yeah, I mean those middle area weights and stuff like that. Yeah, it's going to be really hard to kind of fill that out without having Khabib around. And then, you know, you probably, I mean, everybody out of his gym and stuff like that, I don't think is willing to fight right now either. So, I mean, and that's, you know, a good bunch of, you know, the middle weights around there. And I don't know, it's so weird though when you have like something like that happen, or then even this COVID stuff, there's a lot of areas you just can't move out of. I mean, most of Europe is still kind of shut down as far as external travel, or you can't get back home. So, you know, and a lot of European countries aren't going to be willing to take in U.S. citizens right now.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Well, and that's why they're doing it all in Ireland. And also, like, one of the events was planned at the Performance Center in Nevada, but it sounds like Nevada and California are locking down again, so who knows?
Well, California should have never been unlocked because they didn't really have a good control of it in the first place. Same thing with, I mean, Texas came back a little too quick as it was, but
the deaths and the new cases numbers don't line up. That's my whole problem with it. Is like the deaths, like if you sonar a lake and you see all the fish, that doesn't mean there's a bunch more fish. And it's like, it's so crazy to me, like that everybody, because like all these states with these rising cases, they all increase testing by 200 or 300%. So of course their cases are going to go up. But if you look at the death increments, they're not like Texas is, but Florida and California, they're staying just kind of on par, which is weird because like if Florida's staying on par for daily deaths and they're all old people, that should tell you something.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people do retire to to California as well. People forget that, but
yeah, I suppose like because that's the whole thing. Is like if you're old, this is a really big threat. If you're not old, it's still. I mean, you don't want it, but it's not like it doesn't seem like it's that fatal for anybody under 60, even with pre-existing conditions.
Yeah, and that's why. I mean, just at work here and stuff like that. I mean, we had one guy who was out last week because he took a test. He was out on Monday for just taking vacation time, and then he took a COVID test on Tuesday because he wasn't feeling good. They fucked it up. He had to re-go in on Friday, take it again, and then he finally got his test results back for the second one, saying that he was negative. So it's also like, okay, so even the tests aren't still right, or that it's easy to fuck up because, I mean, that's the thing. He waited for so long, then he heard that they messed up the test, and then he had to hear back again this late. I really thought they messed up the test again this time because, I mean, when you don't hear for 3 or 4 days, and it's supposed to be basically a 10-hour at most turnaround. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
So I don't know. They still don't know what they're doing. At this point, I'm just kind of sick and tired of being told I gotta stay inside and not do shit. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go out and do what I fucking want. I mean, I have been out working anyway, so fuck all these people and their rules.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just like, I mean, I don't know. You had the worst of all of it because you had to work through all this shit, and then you had to listen to people bitching about it. So you didn't even get to stay at home, but you had to listen to people bitching about staying at home. I feel like that would be maddening as fuck.
Yeah, it's like, oh, so you still have to drive into work that half an hour or whatever it was to work, and then everybody else who stayed home, they were bitching about the fact that they don't see anybody, but then they're still at home, so their commute is literally just turning over and then fucking grabbing their laptop and fucking working in their bed if they really want to, or just going onto their fucking couch. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, if I had a 10-step fucking commute, I wouldn't be bitching about it, but... And then I, change jobs, which is fine, and then everybody here is working, which is great, but... Yeah, it's weird, though, to hear all these complaints like, oh, I just don't want people to get sick. And then even that when some people did come back to the last job and one guy was saying, like, I don't want my 92-year-old father to get it. I was like, hey, man, I'll be honest with you. He lived at 92. That's a long fucking run.
Right. I mean, nobody wants to think of their grandparents dying, but, like, if your grandparents are, like, high 80s, low 90s, like, that's a good run, dog.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, both my parents are dead. My dad died in a car accident at 63. My mom died of heart conditions and stuff like that at 60. So, honestly, like if you get past a certain age,
did he owe money to the mob?
Yeah, up there in Elk River. Yeah,
yeah.
The mob.
It's a little known fact that the Elk River mob they'll get you.
Sure. Well, if you say so.
You better give them their money or they'll T-bone you. That's what I'm saying.
Or they'll just find a lady who can have a seizure at the right time and then collide into the A-frame of your car.
Is that what happened?
So, yeah.
Horrific.
There's S-curves like right as you get into Elk River, going in the back roads from Ramsey. He's on
I
that way.
I know
going
those
to work.
S-curves well. I almost fell in the ditch one winter on those things.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do that. And then,
A-Bomber said, "Fuck Elk River."
Oh, very true. 100%. It's one of the worst towns ever. But yeah, no, I mean, he was on his way to work, and then, a lady had a seizure with two, in her, my dad was driving a Cavalier, and so it was a little lower car, smaller car. She was driving a Ford Ranger with an off-road package, so it was a little higher up, literally goes right through the A-frame, right into his face. So.
That's crazy.
That's how that happened. Yeah.
No
and
good.
Let's see, it's coming up on 17 years now.
Does it did the lady with the seizure survive?
Yeah, she did, and she had her 2 kids in the car, so they were fine.
Oh man!
Thank God, obviously.
How pissed were you about that?
That they all survived? I was fine with it.
Were you really?
I'm not a spiteful person.
Come on, there's got to be a little spite in that.
What I was more pissed off about was the fact that she's tried to go back and blame her doctor for taking off her anti-seizure medicine when her and her husband were trying to have kids, and the fact that she had gone 6 months after having her second child without a seizure, and then he decided to keep her off of anti-seizure medicine. So that's
it was
where
a
the problem
medicine that was working, and they took her off it, and because of that, your dad died.
Well, they took her off of it so she could have kids, because apparently some of the anti-seizure medicines and they can mess up your reproductive cycle.
I think by the letter of the law, you're now her kid. I think that's how it works. She was trying to have a kid. She fucked up and killed your dad, And now that your mom's gone, I'm pretty sure she is legally responsible for you, Tom. So good news.
Well, I mean, she still had 2 kids. That's all thing. So
no,
like they took
now
her off.
She still has 3 kids, Tom.
Well, I mean, when that accident happened, she was living in Ramsey. So I'll be honest with you, there's no real money out there in Ramsey.
Oh, you don't want that sweet Ramsey trailer money?
I do believe they call them ramblers or split levels. Those are the 2 types of houses they have in Ramsey.
Yeah.
And normally there are 3 or 4 bedrooms with only 1 bathroom. So yeah, I'm okay.
They call that the old Ramsey mansion.
Yeah.
Holy shit, are you a double wide? Woo, you got money.
Hey, Ma, come see this double wide. Holy.
Hey, Ma, check out this double wide. It ain't even got potholes in the kitchen linoleum.
And then there's also mostly creeks and small streams running through Ramsey, and then all the soil is pretty much just sand.
Yeah, well, that's like most of the western suburbs. It's all swampland. Like St. Louis Park, Golden Valley, and Hopkins are all sinking. Actually, I think Hopkins might be fine because they were raspberry farms, but Golden Valley and St. Louis Park are sinking. Like it's at a very, very minute amount, but like every year they're sinking because they built all this foundation on swampland.
Well, I mean, one of the roads I actually drive on every day is Ide Mill in St. Paul here,
which is also sinking.
Yeah, because they literally built it right on top of a creek. I mean, it was covered up a little bit when they first surveyed it, and this is back in the fucking like late 1800s or early 1900s. So like when they first surveyed it and stuff like that, no one decided to like drive a stake down to the fucking ground to see if there's any kind of water and shit.
Sure.
So basically, they started to just build this fucking cart path and shit like that, and then it became a major fucking road that people exited and use a lot, and then now you just see fucking craters the size of fucking the moon landing. That's actually where they shot the moon landing right there is on Ide Mill. That's where they actually shot that.
That's where they faked it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my conspiracy theory now. Fuck the movie studios.
Okay, I like it. I like when the conspiracy. So basically, this was all like this shit wouldn't have happened if Jesse Ventura was allowed to get rid of the snowbait refunds earlier.
That's right, brother. You gotta respect the Jesse. That's
a very middling Jesse Ventura impression. Like it's not enough to be called the worst, but it's definitely not good.
No, it's definitely no Ricky Noren's version of Jesse the Body.
JJ's Blood Alcohol says, "Oh yeah, I thought I was just getting shorter. No, everything's sinking. You're getting taller."
No, he's probably still getting shorter.
Ooh, snapdragons.
Whatever. I mean, what is he gonna do? I mean, I don't know who this person is. What are you gonna do? Find me? Okay. Good luck.
He's gonna find you, and he's gonna force you to miss your date and watch this really terrible MMA card.
Hey man, again, any kind of MMA card can be saved as long as the main event's good. Because no one fucking gives a shit as long as the main event's good.
Oh, I feel like people are gonna give a shit about this one. This one's about to be boring as fuck.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe somebody from the opening fights or whatever comes through with a knockout or something or
I'm not gonna be watching that. I'm gonna be watching AEW.
What if you saw a flying armbar? Would you fucking like lose your mind? I haven't seen one of those in fucking ever.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I mean, what's the last one? Like, was Mighty Mouse the last one?
I don't know, man. But you don't see it. One, you don't see anything fucking off the cage or anybody like coming in and fucking. I mean, literally, Masvidal fucking throwing that flying knee into fucking Askren is the last time you saw anybody actually jump up and fucking make contact with anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, Askren fucking was asking for it though too, but
yeah, but that was just amazing. I'm mad that Masvidal didn't try any cool bullshit like that.
I think honestly he kind of probably assumed Usman was looking for it. That's why I think I thought I saw him try or possibly trying to look for it, and like 2 minutes left in the 5th round or whatever. But at that point, are you really feeling strong enough to be able to fucking get that knee in there?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
we got Brian Cage versus Moxley tonight.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's only for the AEW World Title, not. I mean, it's not a title for title fight. I mean, Moxley's not up for the FTW World Title either. So,
I think they're gonna give it to Cage.
Probably. He's a single guy. He doesn't have to worry about some of the other stuff that Moxley's had to worry about with, Renee Young coming down with COVID and stuff like that. So.
Well, the other thing too is the manager is Taz.
Yeah, but also that's why I think maybe you pay Taz to bring back his FTW title. And that's the thing, I can't really call it the FTW World title because that's really fuck the world title. That doesn't make sense. So, but I do like that title.
Keep calling it that. FTWW, the BMFFW.
Right.
No, I think they're gonna have Cage steal it from Moxley, and then I think you're gonna see the promotion to be Moxley Cage going into the pay-per-view.
Probably, I guess that actually makes more sense. I mean, because if he defends it again, because that's the thing, like him defending against Mr. Brody Lee kind of screwed all that stuff up as far as really making Brody Lee a threat. Now, if Brody Lee would have lost it in like a shady fashion or something like that, or if he would have gotten DQ'd, it would have been totally different. Because then you can still have them come back and fight later. But now you really can't say he can come back and actually get a title shot with Moxley as the champion.
Sure.
But AEW is also saying that there's no automatic rematches. So if Moxley loses, it's not like he gets a championship shot right away. I mean, Jericho didn't.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. JJ's Blood Alcohol said, "Don't make me look for you. I fucking hate driving through Elk River."
Oh, I'm not in Elk River. I don't even remember the last time I was in Elk River. Maybe driving through it?
Yeah, I was going to say, the last 2 times I was in Elk River, I was literally driving through it. I don't know the last time I stopped there. I wouldn't.
I mean, the only good thing about it is
Balls Deep says, Masvidal's flying knee was beautiful. The shots after the ref stopped were despicable. Watched some cage fighting last week. Highlight KO featuring Tamden was awesome. I don't know. I don't think, like, the after stoppage shots are bad. I mean, like, it's the fighter's job to go till they're peeled off. And if you watch that replay, he was throwing those punches as the ref came. So I'm not even mad about it. Plus, like, I don't know. You hated this guy. You wanted to hit him for so long, and then he fucking gets knocked out by a flying knee. Yeah, you're going to throw some more shots. You're pissed.
Well, I mean, or just to make that statement and stuff, basically, like, talk shit, eat fist, that's what that's supposed to be, right?
Yes, so that's exactly what it is. Talk shit, get lit, baby.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Well, I'll let you get back to work. Yeah, have fun. Enjoy your date. We will catch up with you maybe later this week.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, buddy. Later.
Later.
Bye. That was
Tom Michel.
Who is in fact
I'm a fucking crackhead.
A crackhead. Let's see. Let's get these beats back on. Yeah. Oh god, there's a fly. I get it? I don't know. Try it. Yeah, another Tom laugh. Boo. Yeah, Tom has a date. Hopefully it goes well. Oh yeah, he said it as he first came in. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this is fucking crazy. Here.
13.
Here's a little China Uncensored because we love that shit. But this is probably the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Welcome back to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. The Chinese Communist Party has quite a history of brutality. And it seems the party has taken all those history lessons and applied them to the Uyghur ethnic minority in Xinjiang. It's bad. Recently, U.S. Customs captured a shipment of 13 tons of human hair products from China. And let's just say, the hair didn't come from voluntary donors. Joining me today is Nuri Turkel, a Uyghur American attorney and Uyghur rights advocate. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much for having me.
So first off, congratulations on recently being named a commissioner for the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be in this position, particularly being appointed by Speaker Pelosi, who has been a champion for human rights in China, and me replacing a Tibetan American commissioner is another significance, in addition to this unique platform that I've been provided to promote religious freedom in China.
Well, it's been great to see the U.S. government, which is often very divided, being very united on China and particularly the Uyghur situation. But why don't you tell us a little bit about what the group does?
The USERF is the acronym for the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom, was established under the International Religious Freedom Act of 1998. The commission has 9 commissioners and around 20 staff members. We are statutorily authorized to monitor religious freedom around the world, including to designate designation of countries of particular concern and making recommendations to the President of the United States, Secretary of State, and Congress to ensure that religious freedom is a key part of the U.S. foreign policy agenda.
Jose, so there's been a recent report from the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation that highlights the issue of forced abortions and sterilizations being used on Uyghur women. Can you talk about what's happening?
The forced sterilization, family planning has been part of the Uyghur life for as long as I can remember. I grew up in a society where Uyghur women to go through late-term abortion because of China's family planning policies. And recently, the Chinese leadership eased up the family planning, allowing the citizens to have 2 children. At the same time, they've been using the forced sterilization population control to prevent the population growth in the Uyghur society. Not only that the Uyghur woman must comply, but also there will be retaliation against them, or consequences, if you will, if failure to comply with the authorities' directives. So to the Uyghur people, as being a conservative human being, conservative society, conceiving a child, being able to bring a child to this world, as far as the numbers concerned, the way that they conceive and give a birth, is a matter of personal choice and a matter of privacy. It's something that husband and wife or partners decide. And yet the Chinese government not only invading Uyghur families' privacy, a right to choose, but also they're penalizing the Uyghur women who had desires to have more than what the government allowed them. And in the last 2-3 years, in addition to the forced sterilization, there have been a credible report that Uyghur women have been subject to various forms of abuses in the concentration camps, including gang rape, as reported by in a newspaper article last summer, based on the personal account of this Kazakh refugee who used to be part of the concentration camp management system. So the Uyghur people have been subject to wholesale attack on multiple fronts, religious, cultural, but now the Uyghur woman cannot even own their own body. So it amounts to genocide. The Genocide Convention clearly states that if there's a systematic governmental or institutional effort to prevent population growth, that could constitute or may qualify for genocide contextually.
Well, it's been tragic seeing what's happening to the Uyghurs. I have to ask, as a Uyghur yourself, what was your feeling when you heard U.S. Customs seized a shipment from China containing 13 tons of hair products believed to have been harvested from Uyghurs?
It is extremely disturbing, even creepy, that a Uyghur woman's hair have not been left alone. Even Uyghur woman's hair have been used by the authorities or the enterprises connected to the state for commercial purposes. This should be one of the chilling reasons that the international community, the people around the world who appreciates human values, human rights, religious freedom, to speak out. The international community cannot continue to go business as usual. When we're dealing as a repressive, brutal regime that have zero tolerance on political dissent, or we're being just other. As a commissioner, my job is not only focus on Uyghur religious freedom, I am also responsible for other persecuted religious minorities, including Christian, Chinese, Falun Gong practitioners, Tibetan Buddhists, and others. So I urge the Chinese government to revisit their policies and reverse some of the repressive policies, or even just get onto the right side of the civilization. I know it's a loaded word, but the Chinese government and Chinese people and Chinese society cannot have their own rightful place as long as they continue to repress their own population for political expediency, for this self-created image enemy in religious practitioners, including the Uyghurs, the Tibetan Buddhists, and the Falun Gong practitioners and Chinese Christians. So Ambassador Sam Brownback said it best that China is in a war on faith that has to stop. Religious practices, diversity, to be able to enjoy their privacy is actually good for the society. The Chinese government should not treat them as a threat to their existence and survival of the Communist Party.
And of course, it's not just hair that China has been accused of harvesting from Uyghurs. Some people are talking about what's being called halal organ tourism. Have you seen any evidence of that?
Several credible reports being published. At least 2 UK-based experts have been publicly speaking out about this disturbing news. That, I think, has some basis. The hospitals in Beijing show that there are designated hospitals actively promoted to Arabic-speaking individuals, patients who are looking for organ donors. The organ harvesting started way back with Falun Gong practitioners. The international community did not pay enough attention. This has continued to become a systematic problem. And now the Uyghur people paying price for it. So I encourage not only the American people, the US government, but also the international community to call China out for these brutal practices. I mean, the human lives appear to have no value when it comes to China's government's political interest. This has to stop.
Recently, Congress passed and Trump signed the Uyghur Human Rights Policy Act. It basically allows the U.S. to sanction Chinese officials involved in the persecution of Uyghurs. Do you think that's enough, or should the U.S. be doing more?
USERF welcomes the recent development and President Trump's signing of this significant historic bill, but that's not enough. Even before this bill is signed, United States government, Congress given tools to the administration to utilize those abusive government officials, entities that facilitated human rights abuses in countries like China. To this day, since the enactment of the Global Magnitsky Act in 2016, there's only one Chinese official have been sanctioned, which is unacceptable. I urge President Trump and his team at the Treasury, at the State Department to not only utilize the existing laws, but also effectively implement the Uyghur bill that directs the president to sanction, impose visa restrictions on the Chinese officials who have been responsible for human rights abuses committed against the Uyghurs and Christians and other religious minorities in China. But this should not be the end of the story. This should be just the beginning of this long fight. There are at least 2 other legislative initiatives in the United States Congress. One is profoundly and significantly important that addresses the forced labor issue. The modern day slavery is back in the Uyghur societies. at least 83 brands have been linked to the forced labor situation in the Uyghur region. So including the hair product that you asked earlier, or we discussed earlier, the American consumers, American investors have been unwittingly supported this state-sponsored slavery. So this bill, the recently enacted bill, as well as the one that has been considered, addresses the political issues, economic issues, national security issues, and of course moral issues that is dear and near to us, those of us who live in free societies.
Well, so what do you think it will take to actually get the Communist Party to stop persecuting religious groups in China?
Two things have to happen. One is the international community need to be vocal. Chinese government cares significantly how they're being portrayed in international communities around the world. They care so much about their face, so much about their public image. This is
Buying a used car can be a complicated and confusing experience. Hertz believes you deserve.
This is why they've been so aggressive to the extent to continue this diplomatic effort dubbed as wolf diplomacy around the world. So calling them out is one of the effective ways to get their attention. And then two, tackle them on economic fronts. What made the Communist Party as powerful as today is the fact that they have lots of money. So initially, when the international community in the 90s, particularly the United States, brought China into the thinking that making them rich, make the country advance societally, technologically, will make them naturally get onto the right side of the civilized world. That didn't happen. Conversely, they're using that very power, economic power, diplomatic influence, to create a false division around the world. As we speak, the world is divided thanks to Chinese effort, thanks to Chinese money. Recently, Human Rights Council at the UN took a side with the Chinese authorities. Last summer, there was a split between pro-camp and against camp. There were 22 countries plus Japan came out critical of the Chinese concentration camps. And there were more than 50 countries came out in support of the Chinese concentration camps or Chinese policies. The China's Communist Party's effort to divide the world has been effective, sadly. So the corrupt, corrosive methods that have been implemented, applied by the Chinese authorities, have got them what they want in their wolf diplomacy efforts. So call them out and tackle them on an economic fronts.
Well, don't you think that's going to be hard if the Communist Party has divided the world like you say they have?
Because the world, the international community, falsely believe that criticizing China is somewhat helping or taking the same position as the current administration. That's exactly what and how the Chinese government wants the world to believe. Tackling China, tackling Communist Party, being critical of them, calling them out publicly is a moral issue. The status quo is not sustainable. So it is difficult. We don't advocate cutting off economic ties to the Chinese state as a commission, as a country. But at the same time, the moral issues, moral principles, human rights should not be sacrificed for trade or economic interest. I call on the European governments, particularly those countries that experienced Nazi Germany and fascism, to be vocal or take a position. This is not a difficult position to take. It's not controversial. We've seen it in the history books. We know how this ends when a government purposefully, deliberately, systematically attacking religious minority. The international community need to wake up to this brutal regime, if never again means anything to them.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Nuri. It's been a pleasure talking to you again.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for...
It is surprising given their track record, right? So this is just like more of the shit that's been going on. And again, you can't fucking say anything because if you do, then you're attacking people. It's just so stupid. What's this one? More ads. All right. Oh yeah, this is the one on the Hong Kong police. This one's pretty good too. Let's here we go.
Welcome back to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. This episode is sponsored by Surfshark. You should be using a VPN like Surfshark to protect yourself whenever you go online. Speaking of places where you'll need a VPN, Hong Kong. It's been more than a week since the national security law was put in place, and it's really so much worse than we could have imagined. I know I say that every time I talk about this law, because it somehow just keeps getting worse, like the Star Wars movies. Mainland Chinese officials have already set up a new office in Hong Kong for the national security team.
On Wednesday, China revealed that they had converted Hong Kong's former Metro Park Hotel, with its pool and prime views of Victoria Harbour, into temporary headquarters for an office to enforce its new national security law for the city.
Yes, you can tell how confident the Chinese Communist Party is in its rule by the 10-foot-tall water barricade they had to put up to keep people out. Because too many people would want to celebrate the new law. But the fun doesn't stop there. Pro-democracy books are being pulled from libraries. Candidates for office are being required to support the security law. And police are now targeting protesters for holding up signs that say nothing. They're literally holding blank pieces of paper, and the police are still going after them. We made a joke about that on a recent China Unscripted podcast, and now it's not a joke. But not everything is bad news. Hong Kong leader Carrie Lam told the media that they're totally safe, as long as they 100% guarantee they won't break the national security law. Like I said, it just keeps getting worse. Like how an employee for the Epoch Times newspaper in Hong Kong said police threatened to send her to mainland China to have her organs harvested. It's encouraging that organ harvesting is becoming so well known that Hong Kong police can use it as a threat. So I know what you're thinking. Hong Kong police really need more power. Well, ask and you shall receive. And if you don't ask, you shall still receive. Here are 6 insane new powers the national security law has given Hong Kong police. Number 1, police don't need warrants to enter your home. Yes, Hong Kong police no longer need a warrant to enter the homes of Hong Kong residents. In order to fight terrorism and secession, police may need to enter your home in urgent situations to search for evidence. You know what that means, right? Get rid of all your blank sheets of paper. In fact, just to be safe, you should probably paint "I love Xi Jinping" on your walls. I'm sure your landlord will understand. Number 2, they can keep you from leaving. The UK may have abandoned Hong Kong when it handed it over to China in 1997, but now they're offering a path to UK citizenship to Hong Kong residents who were alive when Hong Kong was part of the UK. That's up to 3 million people. But there's a catch. You have to actually be able to leave Hong Kong. Under the new national security law, Hong Kong police can force people to surrender their travel documents to restrict them from leaving the territory. And that's not limited to confiscating a Hong Kong passport. It includes passports from other countries as well. For example, many Hong Kongers also have British or Canadian passports, but that won't help them here.
That link is garbage.
So, if you're a protester, good luck trying to escape. Number 3, police can take your money. There's lots of people in Hong Kong who are guilty of dangerous crimes, like speaking out against China's communist dictatorship. And for people suspected of crimes that may endanger national security, Hong Kong police can now freeze their assets. And what happens to those frozen assets? Well, police can confiscate them. Nothing like good old communist-style wealth redistribution into the hands of authorities. Number 4, they can censor the internet. Hong Kong protesters have used technology to really undermine the national security of Hong Kong, like by posting on Facebook. So, the Commissioner of Police is to be given powers to control the dissemination of information online. This may require a relevant publisher, platform service provider, hosting service provider, or network service providers to remove information that the authorities deem a threat to national security. They may also restrict or stop anyone from accessing such platforms. I wonder how much longer you'll be able to watch China Uncensored in Hong Kong. Number 5, police can spy on you. Back in the day, police used to have to get a warrant or something for surveillance. But now, they don't need permission from a judge. They just need permission from Carrie Lam. Yes, upon approval of the chief executive, police may intercept communications and conduct less intrusive covert surveillance. I don't know what less intrusive means, but it sounds like police can basically spy on you and your communications as long as Carrie Lam says it's okay. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about here. And finally, number 6, police can force companies to give them your data. Service providers like Facebook or WhatsApp now have to give police relevant identification records or decryption assistance. Any service provider who fails to comply with the requests is liable upon conviction to a fine of 100,000 Hong Kong dollars and 6 months behind bars. The national security law already gave police the power to basically search all of your electronic devices. Now, it's trying to force tech companies to give up your data as well. Now, all of this is shocking. Hong Kong is becoming Shanghai. Actually, the real danger is that Hong Kong is skipping over Shanghai and going straight to Tibet or Xinjiang. But what's really shocking is Facebook, Google, and Twitter are actually standing up to Hong Kong authorities on this issue. For now. Yes, for now, most of the world's major internet and social media platforms have stopped processing requests for user data made by Hong Kong law enforcement authorities. That also includes Telegram and WhatsApp, which are 2 of the most popular communication apps used by Hong Kong protesters. Has the Chinese Communist Party perhaps finally gone so far that even their most loyal sycophants, Western companies, are having second thoughts? Well, to be on the safe side, if you're in Hong Kong, you should probably be using a VPN to protect yourself whenever you go online. I recommend Surfshark, and not just because
I recommend this one that paid me money, and not just because they paid me money. All right, that's pretty much it. The Hong Kong shit is crazy right now, and it's not getting any better. JJ's alcohol content. What did you put up? Yeah, it does kind of look like him, huh? All right. There's that. You're right. They do look like they do. They look a lot alike. It's kind of crazy, right? Make all that weird duck face stuff too. Yeah, VPNs are going to be important. I mean, obviously, in America, you should probably have one anyways. Like, maybe we'll do an episode of that. I don't know. I don't know what we'll do on that front. But yeah, it's pretty crazy the shit they're doing. Like, they're basically expunging Muslims in mainland China, and then they're using all of their political sway to put people in Hong Kong in basically a prison state. That's fucked up. Yeah, I don't know. What is up there? We had one more, I thought. Nope. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what, like... I don't know what can be done is the problem with China. Like, I think maybe we need to roll on Hong Kong. And I hate saying that because I don't really like wars. But, man, kind of seems like it's time. Like, the Hong Kong people would help us. Where's the beats? There they is. There it is. Yeah. Yeah, of course they do. Well, I mean, the whole thing, it's not about that. No, they do want the help. That's not accurate. I mean, that's what the protests are. Like, the problem is that the Chinese government has been, I mean, like, the shit that happened with the Taiwan Extradition Act, like, they're watching, like, there's a lot of expats. There's a lot of expatriates here, like, down there. There's a lot of Australians, English, like, just a lot of people from countries that were free that are now about to be annexed by a communist country, and China's bad, man. Like they've done a lot of shit historically that's garbage, and human rights violations. I mean, they're like us. They don't give a fuck about human rights, and for the first time maybe in history, they would help us. The Mongolians, yeah, City Walk, some South Park action, hell yeah. Just want to beatbox. Yeah, and Hong Kong, like, Hong Kong's weird right now, man. But the people would help. And here's what you do if you're America. You roll on Hong Kong. Any word on Buxton? I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming he's out for a while, right? Let's see. Let's check right now. No, just the stuff of him. Wait. So it's a pretty severe left ankle leg injury is what they know. Sounds like he hasn't got the MRI yet. There was no structural damage or injury that we could find, which was tremendous. That being said, he was in discomfort. Okay, so MLB Network saying not a big deal. Yeah, it might be like a high ankle sprain or something. Yeah, he's super fragile. And that's going to be, I don't know. It sucks. Reminds me of like Torrey Hunter towards the end, you know? It's like he was so good when he was on the field, but like if you can't stay on the field, you got to go. No, you don't even have to rise up against Hong Kong. So here's what you do, right? You take Hong Kong. The people will actually help you for the first time in history. Then what you do is you create an Asian union between Japan, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. And Japan and Taiwan are already our boys, and they'll be down because it'll punish China. Meanwhile, this new Asian union of Hong Kong, Japan, and Taiwan becomes the second biggest economy in the world, and losing Hong Kong topples China. China can't be the world economic power they are. That's how you do that. Or at least how I would do it, I guess. I don't fucking know. Who knows? hate this. This is terrible. Thank you. It's getting crazy. Gotta shave it. Get rid of it pretty soon. Oh. God. Very manly beard. Thank you. Manly beard. Manly. Badujin. Dade. Oh, VPN show? Yeah, we could totally do that. That's no big deal. I've been looking for you since you left to get milk. Well, I'm still at the store. I know you can't see it behind me, but I'm still at the grocery store. I can't hear you. I'm in this grocery store. Hi, kids. I'm in the grocery store. I'm here. Hi. Hi. Yeah, I'm in. Oh, what's up, Eugene? Follow. Give me that follow. I'm in the grocery store. Hey, guys, I'm in the grocery store. That sounds more like Bane. You simply want the cereal. I was born in it. No, you cannot have Snoo cereal. You can't get any cereal, because I'll be here forever. No, I will not pick you up anything. I'm Bane. I'm here to shop for groceries. You simply invented high fructose corn syrup. I ejaculate it. I can't. I'm just shopping. I'm doing so much shopping. I can't bring anybody any food. Sorry. Nothing I can do, kids. Sorry. What talk? I can't hear you. So lonely in this grocery store. Man, I'd like to go home, but then I have to deal with my family and real world responsibilities. Can't have that in a grocery store. Pogs. I'm Pogs. I did the talk with my sister. Am from Alabama. Well, cool. Good for you, I guess. Pog champ. You want butterscotch candies? You'll find them yourself. I'm in the cereal aisle. God, sure is nice not having any kids in this candy aisle. Oh, God, so good. So good. So good. Yeah, pretty damn good. They hide until no one is looking, and then they gobble it up. Yeah, that's what they do. I get all my candy. If Aaron knew what was up, he would play with Rusty's green screen. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Come Monday, you'll be required to wear a mask. God damn it, I know, right? How depressing is that? Candy makes you dandy. Is that why I'm so fucking dandy? Because of my goddamn candy? Ah, there we go. Now I'm in the veggie aisle. It's the only place I can hide from the kids. Look at that. Let twist. Oh. What? Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, you gotta get like a Joker smile mask or something. It's so weird, you know? What do you do? What do you fucking do, right? How do you fucking do that? The canned food is veggie out. Yeah, there's veggies. There's veggies right there. It says canned veggies. Wait, canned veggies, fruit. Veggies, fruit. Veggies, fruit. Veggies, veggie. Wait, veggies, fruit. Veggies, fruit. Veggies, fruit. Get some beans. No, man. I don't have to get anything, man. Get whatever I want. That's how we go. We roll with it. All right. Well, I think we're at the end of today's program. Thanks to Tom for calling in. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for supporting. Come watch. Head over to the Discord. We'll be there. We might play some games tonight. Who knows? Life's full of surprises. Spicy pickles. Yep. There you go. Whoops. You can donate directly with the tips. You can do whatever. Everything you go helps the channel itself. You guys have been awesome. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we got Russell in for some more Russell piece. That's pretty fun, so that should be fun. What else? I feel like we're missing something else, but who cares? Who fucking cares, you know? Ain't nobody. Yeah, let's go to the end phase. Here we go. Ah! Boom. Yeah, you guys have a good one. Thank you so much. If you comments, concerns, anything like that, hit me up on Discord. Yeah, join in. Yeah, maybe we'll do VPNs on Friday. We can do VPNs for sure. We'll go over them. Like, what do you want? You just want an explanation on them, or you want like recommendations, or what? I don't know. Don't matter. All right, whatever. All right. Let me... All right, you guys have a good one.